Alright, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna keep it a little short today because I'm still editing the Taunting Hour review, and if I keep at it at the stream for too long, then I'm probably never gonna get the chance to finish it too. But with that being said, howdy. Hi. Hi guys. Hope y'all's week hope y'all's is that's not even a word. What am I saying? Hope everyone had a decent week. And with that being said, guys, I got a couple of things I want to react to, but for the most part, I'm not necessarily going to be taking requests and whatnot. I want to keep it brief because, like I said, Taunting Hour review. But on the plus side, guys, I don't work on Monday. For whatever reason, even though the holiday's not until the 5th, which even then, I didn't even know it was a holiday until now because apparently it's the anniversary of the Mexican Constitution. So even though the day of is not until Wednesday, apparently I get Monday off. So hey, I'm not complaining. But with that being said, though, guys, what's up? Hello, Swamp. Hello, Lonely. Hello. Okay, who else is? Okay, from what I remember. Okay, let me look at chat again. Hello, Erica. Hello, Kata. Hello, Joe Worlds. I believe you are new in this chat, but don't quote me on it. But what's up, guys? But alright, guys, what you see on the screen is part of what I have on the queue, or really my own personal queue, more or less. But other than that, I really don't have a lot going on today. Just because, like I said, I want to keep it brief and I want to keep editing. And also, I've come to the I don't know. Just the fact that I've streamed 4 hours every weekend, I'm definitely feeling the burnout a little bit, to say the least. So, yeah, hopefully we can keep it brief, guys. I don't know. Usually we go about 4 hours, 3.5, but I want to... I don't know. It really just depends on how my mood gets as the stream goes on. Hello, Boo. Hello, Aura. You remember that show? Okay, guys, I will say this. As far as this video is concerned, I recognize little to nothing in the thumbnail, except for Butch Hartman. So, I don't know. I'm just curious, and you know what? Tunchi can be funny every now and again, so I'm kind of curious as to what he has to say here. And you know what? He is respectably analytical. I'll give him that. I don't agree with him on everything, but he is respectable in several aspects. So, let's see. The Nicktoons that Time forgot, and you know what? Judging from the fact that I don't recognize his character whatsoever, yeah, Time definitely forgot it. Not just, you know what? Not just Time alone. Me. I forgot it. I have no idea who this character is or what show he's from, so let's see how this goes, shall we?
Watch me ruin your favorite chair. You're not gonna want to sit in this one again.
How did this show get away?
Okay, I needed a moment there, guys. What did I just what 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 I sit down and literally the first 5 seconds I see some anthropomorphic monkey dry humping a couch and literally crapping on it. You know what? Maybe it's for the best that I never knew what the show is. And I am legitimately tempted to keep it that way and just ignore this video altogether. Or, I mean, I wouldn't consider it an opponent by any means, but whatever the heck this is, yeah, what did I expect? I mean, I don't know what I expected, but this was definitely not it. I have no idea. Okay. I already don't like where this is going, but screw it. I got a channel to run, more or less.
Half of the stuff.
Exactly, Swamp. Who the frick starts a conversation like that? I just sat down.
Nickelodeon's catalog is big, large,
Yeah.
mostly garbage. But
I have no idea who that is. I have no idea what that is. Wait, play that again.
Nickelodeon's catalog is big, large, mostly
Pig, goat, banana, cricket. What the heck is this?
garbage. But among all
Yeah, fair. Yeah, guys, don't let their whatever you see on the TV guide, don't let it fool you. It's not all just Loud House and SpongeBob, as the network might be fooling you into.
As Nickelodeon has produced over the years, there are very few that still get talked about to this day, or
Yeah.
hell, got talked about while they were still airing. There have been a lot of Nicktoons that felt like they just kind of came and went, even if in actuality they
Yeah, no idea who this is either, guys. Sorry if I'm offending you by being in the dark for too much, but it is what it is.
stayed around for a good few years and were just neglected in favor of the same 10-year tune of Spingebill, Bad Fandom Show, and
The
Dan Snyder's
successor of Ren and Stimpy? Is that are you being trying to be literal with that, Kata? Cause yeah, I get it. I kind of get it.
cultural impact. Yes, indeed, there are a lot of
That's just a teaspoon of the toilet humor. Oh gosh.
shows on Nickelodeon that I almost exclusively watched for about an hour before school as a kid that I've had in the back of my mind for years.
Really? I don't know, guys. Like, maybe I'm not being fair by comparing it to my usual routine on the weekdays, but every morning while I'm getting ready for work, you know what I get on Disney Channel? You know what I get on Disney Channel and whatnot? I get Phineas and Ferb. I get the Mickey Mouse reboot, which I don't hate. It's actually really funny. Like, it's crazy how they had it worse back then, even though it's usually the opposite.
And it's safe to say that most people have either
Okay, I do know what this is. It's that one Butch Hartman show. I forgot what it was called, but it's the one Butch Hartman show that nobody cares about. Let me put it that way.
forgotten about them or don't talk about them whatsoever.
It's very likely, Swan, but we'll just have to wait and see. I do get Monday off, and I do want to maybe cram in a stream in there, but it just depends on how... You know, for reference, guys, the Taunting Hour review is going to be about 11.5 minutes long, and I've only edited 2 minutes. I just have been really busy this week, or I just really haven't been in the mood to start editing when I get home from work.
A lot of these shows are forgotten for many reasons, the most prevalent one being... Oh, and also...
Nickelodeon's... Exactly. Yeah, blame the schedule. You can partially blame the scheduling for all of this forgotten junk, more or
But
less.
I found there's a couple of gems underneath
Yeah, that's what I meant, Erica. I didn't know what year it was from, and I couldn't think of a better way to describe it.
all of the muck. And with one of the bad shows I wanted to talk about for this video, recently seeing a
Oh my god, why is his...
surge in popularity
skip
for
it.
out-of-context clips on social
Okay,
media.
bro, you don't have to keep the shot in there. Just...
Might recognize some of these as they're probably buried deep within your brain somewhere behind all of the less important stuff you focus on.
You know what, guys? I'll be saying one thing. As far as Robot and Monster is concerned, I just remember the promos. I don't remember seeing a single episode.
So if you have any core memories that get unlocked by this video, feel free to share them in the comments. But without further
Yeah, Bunsen is a beast. That's what it's
ado,
called.
let's just get the one most people are here for out of the way.
Ah, okay. I remember someone last week mentioned these two words specifically. This is okay. I had a feeling. Maybe I should have put two and two together.
Oh, look at me, everyone. I'm a dumb monkey. Oh, look, I'm going to poop.
The fact that he said dumb monkey, but the captions translated it as that, I don't know what it... I'm telling you, man, accents are a blessing and a curse.
Poop where I sit.
Again, how did
Moving on.
they get away with? Okay, so it's worth mentioning that Rocket Monkeys is only technically a Nicktoon. It was originally created for and aired on Teletoon, but
Oh, it's Canadian. That explains a lot. That explains a lot.
Nickelodeon acquired the broadcasting rights around the same time, before immediately sending it to die on Nicktoons due to the show's low ratings.
If it was that lowly rated, both critically and in terms of viewership, what made Nickelodeon think they could salvage this? Let alone believe it was worth localizing? I don't know, man. I really don't know.
Though that doesn't exactly make Rocket Monkeys particularly special. So while this is a technicality, I'm willing to bet most people associate
Bro, even the lead is picking his nose on the title screen. That really tells you everything about the amount of dignity it'll have.
this show with Nickelodeon. And personally, I watched the show on Nicktoons when I was a kid, so I think it counts.
Oh, you poor soul.
Argue with a wall. Anyway, so Rocket Monkeys.
I made a boom boom on the floor.
This
Why is this the third Oh my
is a
gosh.
sketch show. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it.
Oh my god. You know what? I believe it.
Rocket Monkeys is just a sketch.
No Nicktoon, no tune in general has any business having that many shots of literal crap, guys. I'll tell you that
show.
much.
There's not a single normal moment in this whole show. I don't mean to
Ew.
be a poo prude, but
That's not a thing, Tushi. Just say.
I don't mean to be too pro.
Oh gosh, what? Okay, that was actual chocolate. But you know what? After it's really hard to disassociate,
But
guys.
it's
Just given what I know about the show
Kind of
so
the
far.
average kids show with toilet humor, Rocket Monkeys gets to a point where it is legitimately kind of disgusting.
I'm gonna get demonetized just for watching this, aren't I?
I know for a fact some ABDL motherfucker just blew the fattest load of
Oh gosh. Oh gosh. This is, yeah, lonely, you and me both. What?
their monitor. If you couldn't tell, this show has gone kind of viral on social media recently.
I haven't noticed, and I'm grateful for that. You know what? I'm praying in gratitude that the Twitter algorithms or whatever social media algorithms didn't screw me over with this crap. No pun intended.
Because people are unlocking core memories of briefly watching the show as a kid.
Oh god, oh goodness, there's timestamps. Yeah, I don't want to stomach this. Yep. And I'm willing to bet no one else in chat is too. I'd like to believe my viewers hold some semblance of the dignity that I'm trying to hold here.
Robot and Monster, a show about robots and monsters coexisting in a world together where one is a Squidward and the other is a SpongeBob, and it's just as uninspired as you'd imagine. I actually have a lot of memories of watching Robot and Monster before school in 2014 to 2015, and
You know what? I'll give credit. I don't know a lot about the show, but for 3D animation in like what, the late 2000s, early 2010s, this doesn't look bad.
haven't heard hide nor hair of it since then. No one ever talks about it, and apparently there's only like 26 episodes, even though I could have sworn I watched more than that.
Yeah, okay, presumably canceled after one season.
And it's suddenly dawning on me that there's a real possibility that I have actually seen every episode of Robot and Monster, but just don't remember. I guess that still makes me the most qualified person to talk about the show, though, right? Like, I at least qualify for an expert position. Who cares?
I mean, who wouldn't qualify? I think anyone just watching one episode would qualify as an expert.
If I get stuff wrong because I don't remember the exact details, you're not going to watch this show anyway. Robot and Monster is very boring, honestly. Visually, it looks fine, or as fine as a CG animated series released in 2012 could look. The problem is that it's one of the most
Oh, 2012. Okay, that really clears my doubts.
derivative cartoons I've seen in a while. Pretty much everything it does, from its premise to its characters and their personalities, have been done before a million times and done way better on top of that. Like, again, Robot and Monster are just the 2012 newbies from the Squidward and SpongeBob factory. Their dynamic is exactly what you'd expect. Robot is grumpy, Monster is not. Robot is smart, Monster is not. And there's nothing else
Okay, to be fair, though, Squidward isn't really that smart.
to them other than their, I don't know, their love of bacon. F it, bacon. The characters in
Okay?
show love bacon so much they have their own version of Christmas called Bacon Muss. This is what I talk
Yeah, okay. Uninspired is putting it a little too lightly. Fair enough.
about for a living. Oh yeah, they also got this little stupid cube dog thing called Marf. And
Okay, he does look kind of cute. I would own a pet Marf. Wouldn't you guys?
this whole thing is he just says Marf all the time. I don't know why you would create such a useless creature like this. You're a sick fuck.
Bro, calm down, man. It's basically a dog.
The show is also oddly mean-spirited and not very funny, like, at all.
Okay, Tails, yeah, glaze it all you want, because I'm gonna be real with you guys. Penguins of Madagascar, I think it would be my favorite Nickelodeon show of all time. No bias. Actually, there is some bias, because like, I don't know, I really loved the first Madagascar movie growing up, and even the second one. The second has its problems, the third, I could take it or leave it, but the first one, it feels like a classic, man.
I don't know why I watched so
I'm not saying it's the best DreamWorks film out there, but I definitely do have a soft spot for it.
much of this show as a kid. I guess during the times it would play on Nicktoons, there was just nothing else on any of the other channels. I was used to SpongeBob being on at 7 in the morning, not this piece of shit. It's no wonder no one ever talks about Robot and Monster, because it really doesn't make a good
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Aura. Like, little Marth there, just the fact that he's just a square, it definitely does give that roly-poly-oly vibe
enough case for
of every character just being a particular shape. Or every body part being a particular shape.
its own existence to be remembered by anyone. I'm glad that a handful of people realized it existed, because I would have been convinced I just dreamt the whole thing up.
Oh, here we go. Okay. I'm kind of curious. How did this Butch Hartman show of all things play out?
It's only a matter of time before
Please.
you and I'll be
Please,
best
please
forever
shut up. Look at
Well then. Quite the first impression. If I'm trusting Toonshi's take on it.
everyone is the precise moment everyone realized Butch Hartman had fallen off and wouldn't ever climb back up.
Oof. Is this what it took?
Bunsen is a Beast is largely forgotten about and not talked about much nowadays. But
Uh-huh.
back in the day, the announcement of this show was actually kind of a big deal, given Butch wasn't widely recognized as the snake oil salesman he is today.
Yeah, fair. Honestly, I was starting to catch on in it well into Tough Puppy, but I think this is what sold it.
A new cartoon from the creator of Odd Parents and Danny Phantom. Oh boy, everyone said in unison, forgetting that both shows fell off a cliff a long time ago. And
Okay, to be fair though, at least Danny Phantom got a proper conclusion, even though it kind of sucked from what people have told me.
also conveniently forgetting the existence of Tough Puppy. Arguably the biggest cultural impact Bunsen had was that one animated short of all of Butch's characters crossing over and interacting with each other.
I like to move it, move it. Okay, now I do a terrible King Julian impression, guys. It's a really hard accent to get down to a T. I will give respect to whoever's voicing him in the
To
moment.
promote the new show. Despite how much smack I'm about to talk, I thought this was cute and a nice bit of fan service. This short also
I mean, fan service, but to what fans? What fans? Anyone know a single unapologetic Bunsen is a Beast fan? Genuinely, not. I'm being rhetorical, guys.
Despite how much smack I'm about to talk, I thought this was cute and a nice bit of fan service. This short also happens to be the best thing to come out of Bunsen's entire existence. I'm aware I'm definitely not the target audience for Bunsen is a Beast,
Is there a target audience to begin with?
but I shit you not, my little sister watched this show a grand total of one time while I was babysitting her, and this was the first time I had ever seen her grab the remote to turn the fucking TV off.
How old was she?
Also, Odd Parents and Danny Phantom, at least the good parts, are still very enjoyable for kids and
Yeah.
adults. So I
Yeah.
don't know why Butch was aiming for a lower age demographic with Bunsen as a Beast, especially after
Only problem with Madagascar 3 is the intro. They already established they're fine with Africa. Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, Alex found his parents. They're all happy in Africa. Melman and Gloria are together. The penguins left off to do their own thing. But then suddenly come the third movie. Alex's parents are gone, and hey, we still got to make it back to New York. Like, just from the start, that film already lost me.
hooking all of his old fans with the promo animation. I mean, come on, how many bridges is this man gonna sell people before he starts to feel bad? Bunsen is a Beast is a contender for the most annoying
Like, honestly, I'm not exactly sure what his net worth is, but after Fairly Odd Parents and Danny Phantom, it feels like he could retire peacefully. I don't know.
cartoon from the
And
last
just focus on other things.
10 years. It's utter hell, or at the very least what I imagine the screams of the damned sound like. Every character's voice and actions are psychologically analyzed and tested to make sure they give the viewer a migraine. The show
Ouch.
also looks horrid in general. Say what
Yeah.
you will about Butch Hartman, the man can draw fairly well, or at least he used to.
Or he tries? I don't know what to make of it nowadays.
Still don't know what happened here. Describing this as the end-shitification of Butch's art style
I'm sorry, say that again? The N what?
too, but I still don't know what happened here. Describing this as the end-shitification of
The
Butch's
N
art style
shit.
doesn't
Okay. That's a new term. Really creative source with this guy, I'll tell you that
really
much.
do it justice. And the animation is cheap flash animation, the same kind that the last season of Odd Parents started using for some reason. I fully believe that 2016
The show where Butch Hartman's writing was just on the floor from what you have seen, it's not even worth talking or thinking about it. Oh, it's that bad?
2017 is where Butch Hartman finally lost
Honestly, Nick, yeah, it does give that vibe that it's better off on Nick Jr., just judging from the design of the protagonist alone.
the plot. I legitimately have no earthly idea what Butch was thinking with this show specifically. Uncle Duck felt like it had more thought put into it than this. I would
Who?
genuinely take a full series about Uncle Duck than watch Bunsen as a Beast ever again. Butch, get on it.
Okay, another Nick show I've never heard of, and for all I know, it's best that I don't.
Okay, so we're officially past the whining, bitching, and moaning part of this video. Let's talk about some shows that aren't bad for it.
Oh, okay.
Change. Welcome to the Wayne is a bit of a guilty pleasure of mine, and I've always kind of rooted for it.
I will be exclusively okay. Hold on, let me read the caption. I will be exclusively using footage from the show's trailer because Viacom made editing this part a living. Yeah, that's fair. Even when you cut the audio, guys, even when you cut mute most, if not all of the audio, yeah, Viacom can be really stingy when it comes to copyright.
Given the bad hand it was dealt by people when it was first revealed.
Seriously, guys, remember a couple streams ago when I reacted to Loud House out of context? It got copyright claimed. And, well, I mean, I was able to trim out what got copyrighted and save my own skin, but other than that, like, really? It was only like 10 seconds worth of footage.
Frame 1, the show immediately got compared to Gravity Falls and called a Nickelodeon ripoff of Gravity Falls for practically no justified reason.
I mean, am I okay, I guess it does kind of give that vibe a tiny bit, but artistically, it definitely doesn't give that vibe. I don't know, just judging from the colors and the style, if nothing else.
The Gravity Falls and called a Nickelodeon rip-off of Gravity Falls for practically no justified reason other than it revolving around mysteries and having just a handful of similarities. I'll
Like,
admit that having a little girl solving
because because apparently Gravity Falls coined the mystery genre? Like, come on, guys, be real.
mysteries who owns a grappling hook is enough to raise a couple of eyebrows.
Okay, yeah, okay, I see it
But
now.
it's still far from plagiarism, and I always found this incredibly unfair. Unfortunately, this meant the show never really got a chance to shine, and this coupled with the fact that Nickelodeon once again greenlit a project, only to decide they didn't actually want it, meant
How long did it last? How long did it last? My money's on just one season, unfortunately. Maybe not even that.
the show's fate was sealed from the day episode 1 dropped. And on top of this, they never re-aired any of the episodes again, or at least that's what I'm told. At the very most,
I mean, what does it say when even I've never heard about it, let alone seen it air on Nickelodeon in any capacity?
they barely re-aired new episodes, meaning if the average viewer missed an episode premiere, that episode is gone into the void and
Good luck finding it, and I'm willing to bet it's not available on Paramount Plus either.
you'll never watch it again outside of piracy. This was just a couple of years before streaming really started to take off outside of Netflix. People were
Huh.
actually watching TV back then. So yeah, I've always appreciated this show for
I mean, I'm not afraid to admit it, I kinda still do watch TV, guys.
being a bit of an underdog. The show isn't anything too special, but it is a decent bit of fun. Centering around a hotel, the Wayne, that is full of eldritch horrors and all manners of weird creatures that only certain people can see, and solving the many mysteries brought about by this idea. It's a
Huh.
fantastic concept, and while the
Definitely giving the... Okay, maybe I'm using this a little too loosely, but it's giving the Luigi's Mansion 3 kind of vibe. The whole hotel, pretty much every room having a specific creature or enemy. I kind of like it. I don't know.
show's mystery solving
Maybe it's just because it's reminding me of something I actually like, but that's neither here nor there.
isn't exactly enthralling, it's still a fun watch for the most part. If you're going into Welcome to the Wayne with any expectations
Like, I don't know, just judging from this B-roll footage, guys, it seems decent, but I don't know.
or thoughts that contain
I would say I should watch an episode, at least one episode, but where is it available?
the words
Don't answer that, I'm being rhetorical.
Gravity and Falls, you are setting yourself up for disappointment and should stop doing that. It's nothing like Gravity Falls, and I think it's better off for it. The
Yeah.
theme song is also a banger, just thought I'd mention that. I'd recommend giving the show a shot. I know I
I would listen to it here on stream, guys, but like I said, copyright.
say this a lot, but it's not gonna blow anyone's mind. The Gravity Falls comparisons were maybe slightly warranted on a superficial level. Again, girls solving mysteries with grappling hook, but were ultimately super
Copyright buggered this part and I can't be bothered to fix it. Wait, what?
unfair because it's nothing like Gravity Falls at all.
What does this little cat have to do with... okay.
It's its own thing entirely, and I'd rather people judge the show on those merits rather than what cartoon YouTubers told them nearly 10 years ago.
Harvey Beaks. By name, I've heard of this before? If my memory serves correctly... you know what, let me, I'm just gonna hear him talk before I say anything.
Warning! Warning! We have reached Kino. We have reached levels of Kino previously thought unimaginable by this fuck-ass company.
Really?
Proceed with caution. I can't believe this is the first time I'm actually talking about Harvey Beaks in any capacity beyond a brief mention. I have been referencing and making jabs at how poorly this show was treated for years now. I do that
Really?
whenever I can. because
Okay,
the
okay. We actually struck gold. Nick actually struck gold for a change.
story behind this show's treatment and specifically the
If you like
treatment
Chowder,
series
you like
being
this
wet
show?
actually
Okay.
piss me the off. And as long as anyone remotely connected
Yeah, Aura, to the surprise of absolutely nobody.
to that instant remains at Nickelodeon, I will forever stay seething. If I was forced to make a public apology for venting on my Facebook
Nickelodeon forced Harvey Beaks' creator to apologize on Cartoon Brew. Wait, what? For what?
about my boss screwing over my project, I would be on the fucking news. But anyway, Harvey Beaks is one of my favorite Nickelodeon shows, and I do not say that lightly. Yeah, but you didn't
Yeah, honestly, maybe the bar is a little too low, but you know what? Fair.
expect that, right? I can experience joy sometimes.
When you're a cynical internet critic, yeah, you do feel like you're incapable of experiencing joy
I
sometimes.
loved this show when I was a kid, and I still love it now. To put it simply, Harvey Beaks is just a relaxing show. Not all of the time, but most of the time it's very laid back and keeps its cool. And it's something I've always admired about it because it's kind of like the anti-Nicktoon. Even the more low-key Nicktoons aren't as restrained and quiet as Harvey Beaks is, and it helps the show stand out and carve its own identity. The creator, C.H. Greenblatt, is a legend, writer on the first 3 seasons of SpongeBob and
Okay, that explains a lot. That explains a lot. Fair, fair.
creator of
Respect, respect.
Chowder. And while Harvey Beaks is no
Oh, he created Chowder too? Yeah, okay, yeah. Bro had the resume packed. Like, I'm surprised Nickelodeon didn't pick him up sooner.
or near as funny as either of them, that talent still shows. It's a show bursting at the seams with charm and good-natured humor. It very rarely ventures into super wacky territory, and it adds to the cozy vibe the whole show has. What definitely helps is the most of the visuals. The actual animation and character designs are just kinda okay, but
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. They do give, like, if I were to judge the show just from the title screen, or the cover, like, I don't know, the characters do give too goofy for their own good kind of vibe, but I'm glad I was proven wrong, if I were to go by that mentality.
the backgrounds are really pretty. On top of this, the show is incredibly down-to-earth in a way not many Nicktoons are.
Okay, Nick, to be honest, how old is this show? I'm not too concerned with spoilers, at least for now, in this particular context.
2 of my favorite episodes center around Fee making friends with Blister, an old man stuck in a retirement home who hasn't been outside in years. Bonding with him on such a level that finally gets him to conquer his fears and go outside. And then a few episodes later, they follow up on this by showing how Fee has to deal and cope with Blister passing away.
Oh, I knew it. I knew that's where that was going. Oh. I've only known this guy for literally like 4 sentences, and I'm already sad.
Yeah, Blister just dies, and they're very upfront about it. They don't pussyfoot around the topic at all. It ends up being a shockingly poignant and impactful episode, and one of the best and most mature ways I've seen a Nickelodeon show tackle a concept like death. That's not to say the rest of the show is on the same level as this episode, but you know, it pains me that Harvey Beaks never got the
It's not afraid to grow a pair every now and again. That's big respect. Just because Nickelodeon really doesn't do it very often, and it doesn't do it well.
attention it deserved. Because while it's ultimately a footnote in Nickelodeon's overall history, it was a massive breath of fresh air both at the time and today. There's no other Nickelodeon show quite like it.
What year was this? Just out of curiosity.
Well,
Hello? Okay, I was about to say, it got quiet for a second. Did I pause it on accident?
those certainly were some forgotten Nicktoons, am I right? This video was made as a necessity because January ad revenue is kicking my ass. I still enjoyed looking back at
Good thing I don't do YouTube for a living, guys, because yeah, January Avenue would definitely be kicking me too.
No, I didn't actually. I just enjoyed these 2. It was still interesting looking back at these shows, though, since most of them were just tucked away at the back of my mind for a while, and I was never quite convinced they were real. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is the part where I would usually shill Yakuza, but unfortunately I played the demo for Kiwami free, and it was a 2-pack of ass. This combined with all of the controversies, as well as all of the recent story leaks that I hope are just a result of the developers trolling data miners, have all fully
Okay, he's more or less still glazing Yakuza anyways. So, you know what? Fair enough.
convinced me to make a video. So yes, you guys will get a Yakuza video before my Infinite Wealth vid is done. Just don't expect it to be a positive one. It takes a lot to get the resident Yakuza glazer to actually say
Wait, Swamp, you mean Harvey Beaks? I can kind of see it. A little bit.
something negative about his favorite franchise, but they managed to pull it off somehow. Anyway, goodbye.
Okay. That was a fun watch. I definitely learned a lot, but I was also definitely disgusted. And to be fair, I didn't watch a good chunk of the video anyways, because, yeah, I'm not stomaching that. Definitely not what I expected at first, but you know what? That was fun, guys. That was fun. What did they see in the Loud House that they don't in the shows after it? Kata, I'm gonna sum that up in one very simple term. Money. That's the thing, guys. No matter how creative, no matter how artistically or aesthetically appealing a show is in terms of narrative, art direction, or whatever, doesn't mean anything if people aren't watching, because Nickelodeon will screw you over unless they got something to gain from it. Let me put it this way, guys. There's a reason, even with how terrible the Casagrandes' ratings were, there's a reason it lasted 3 seasons. There's a reason the Loud House is on its way to, what, its 11th season? Either money, a quota, or technically both, in one case. Yeah, honestly, Boo, how much time are we into the stream? Yeah, we're only like a half hour in, guys. So, if y'all want to suggest something and try to keep it below like 20 minutes or so, just for the sake of conciseness, because like I said, I want to keep the stream a little short. If it's 20 minutes or shorter, actually 15 minutes or shorter, let me put it that way, then maybe I'll get to it on stream. But for now, guys, I'm gonna commit to what I said last week, and maybe, you know what? Speaking of suggestions, guys, suggest some background music. Suggest some music to add to the background playlist, to say the least. If it's from a video game, it's very likely that it won't be copyrighted, as long as it doesn't have vocals. Just recommend whatever, and if I like it, I'll add it to the playlist, and you might hear it in the background at some point. I'll tell you that much. 9 to 10 years, and yet we will get 11 seasons? Yeah, apparently, Swamp. Apparently. Casa Grande's review when? As a matter of fact, Aura, remember how I was teasing last week, guys, that once the review of the Taunting Hour is done, I'm gonna be doing a video about Lincoln and Ronnie Yan? In essence, it more or less will be a Casa Grande's review. I'll tell you that much. Am I into comic books? Tales? I don't think I've ever owned a single comic book issue in my entire life. Like, when it comes to Marvel and DC and really most comics that I can think of off the top of my head, and most of my knowledge, it's either from movies or just doing internet research in hopes of understanding said movies. Like a couple years ago, guys, and even now, when I was watching a post-credit scene in, like, say, the MCU, I'm like, who the heck is this character? And then as soon as I get home, I Google, who was this character at the end of this movie? And that's really the extent of my knowledge when it comes to to Marvel and DC comics and whatnot. Lofty Castle and Wizard Peak from Spyro the Dragon. Alright, let's look into it. You know, Bo, I'm legitimately surprised. With how many times you've mentioned Spyro the Dragon, I'm surprised you haven't recommended anything yet, or didn't recommend anything last time. I'm come to think of it, I should have looked into it myself, more so. You know what, let's hear it. I could have sworn I've heard this before, but maybe I'm just tripping. Like, I don't know, guys. My memory is... I think the only time I ever played a Spyro game was at one of those kiosks in McDonald's back in, like, the early 2000s. Y'all remember y'all remember? Okay, well, y'all alive at that point? Because back in, like, say, the early 2000s, back when I was a kid, McDonald's just went all out when it came to the play place for kids. Like, N64 kiosk, PlayStation 1 kiosk, or was it PS2? I don't remember. And also the usual play place we know and love. And I remember playing Spyro for a couple minutes, and a really scary boss that still haunts me to this day. I forgot what he was called. I think I've talked about it on stream before, but you know what? I'd rather not bring it up again. Wait, you have? Huh. You know what, Boot? Your memory is better than mine, so please pardon me in that regard. Okay, what was it called again? Wizard Peak. Oh, you have sent me to this before. Because, yeah, there was a timestamp on the thumbnail. Okay. Let me hear this real quick. Teen Titans Go and Loud House. 2 shows that make me feel old because I just can't get with it. More or less, Aura. More or less. It is what it is, guys. Anyone remember when Mexican Spider-Man was a thing? Wait, what? Demand was so high in Mexico, they published their own stories to make it a bi-monthly release. Okay, like I said, Aura, I know little to nothing about comic books. At least directly, so yeah, I probably wouldn't know. Even though, ironically, I am Mexican. Let's see. Aria Math. I have no idea what that is, Erica. You know what? Hopefully the YouTube search bar will help me narrow it down, because I have no idea what you're referring to. Oh, Minecraft. Okay. You know what? Let's hear it. 20 million views. Holy crap. Wait, is this even what you're referring to, Erica? Alright, Tails, give me a moment. Yeah, I can open up Discord from here. Why not? I really got nothing to hide here, guys. As long as I stay in my server. Oh my gosh, what is this okay. Gosh, what is that thumbnail, man? Silent Hill? Okay, I will say this though, guys. I'm not really a horror enthusiast by any means. I'm arguably the antithesis of it. But let's see. Hmm. Huh. This doesn't sound so bad. As long as there's not like a jump scare or anything, I can work with that. Okay, I've only listened to the first 20 seconds, but you know what? I don't hate it. Why not? Like, I don't know, guys. I'm more or less I'm not necessarily trying to keep an open mind. I'll just really settle for anything as long as I don't risk a copyright. As long as it's not too distracting, and as long as I don't get copyright claim for it. That's really all the criteria, more or less. All right, let's see. Okay, I can't even pronounce the name of this song. Okay, I can't even pronounce the name. Oh, hold on. Okay, hold on. Give me Google Translate. Hold on. I'm assuming this is Japanese. Shizo. Or it just means sprinting. From, oops, Final Fantasy 13-2? There was more than one? Holy crap, man. Okay. To be fair, it's not the first time this franchise has done like a two-parter or whatever. Just because of Remake and Rebirth for 7, but still. Huh. Interesting. You know what? Let's hear it all. Tiny Tiger from Crash Bandicoot 2. Okay, again. Huh. What are the odds? Like, I don't know what it is, guys. For most of my life, I was definitely a Nintendo kid. My access to PS1 platformers, let alone Crash Bandicoot and Spyro, it was rather limited. Yet somehow, I feel like I recognize this song. Hold on. Tiny Tiger, Crash Bandicoot 2. Wait, isn't there a remastered version? Because I did know this. The original trilogy, to get remastered. But let's see. A little cacophonous. But you know what? I'm gonna wait a bit. Okay, I don't hate it. I know, I mean, we're only 30 seconds in, but I don't hate it, so sure. Same goes for you, actually. Okay, anything else in the queue? I think that's everything, unless I'm missing something. Okay. Dark Passage and Treetops from Spyro. Okay, you know what? I gotta close a few tabs, because the window's definitely getting cluttered. I'm saying constantly because, I don't know. Part of me is just way too paranoid about copyright, and I've come to notice that speaking over the music, it definitely helps with screw with the system, the detection and whatnot. The original is better? Debatable. I'll say that much. Okay. Treetops. Alright, guys. 5 more minutes and then I'll close the queue. 5 more minutes and then I'll close the queue. I'll say that much. Wait, where the heck is it? There you go. Wait a minute, there's an adult Spyro? What the crap is this? You know what? And you know what? This game is like 30 years old, so you know what? Maybe I should have picked up on that by now. even though I've rarely ever played these games. Kelp Forest from Battle for Bikini Bottom. I feel like I should recognize that name alone, Erica. Because I actually have played Battle... Okay, I've played some of Battle for Bikini Bottom, but I don't remember where I left off. Because I remember a couple of years ago on this very PC, like I basically downloaded a bunch of GameCube ROMs and I wanted to play Battle of Bikini Bottom because it definitely reminded me... You know what? As crazy as it sounds, it reminds me of Jak and Daxter from it reminds me. It gives me a lot of Jak and Daxter vibes, but basically with a SpongeBob skin, and I kind of loved it. And I really regret never finishing it to where I don't know where I'm going with this, but y'all know what I mean. I've played Battle for Bikini Bottom before. I feel like I should recognize it. But let's see. Kelp Forest. Battle for Bikini Bottom. Which one though? The remastered one or the original? I'm guessing they're more or less the same. Yeah, I'm willing to bet this was after. From after the point where I got to when I played this originally. Where did I leave off? Now that I think about it, I think I was just finishing up at, what was it, Goo Lagoon? Was that what the place was called? I know that's what it's called in SpongeBob Canon, but for all I know, it was a completely different beach in the game. All right, I can work with this. Okay, come to think of it, how much do I have? How much music do I have on this playlist? Now that I think about it. You know what? Let me look into it, just out of curiosity. 103 songs. Honestly, that doesn't feel like it's enough. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being picky. Like, I don't know. When you want to have like an extensive playlist, guys, like what's your threshold? For me, I want to say at least, I don't know, 150, maybe 200. Because I don't know, if I'm listening to this every day, which I'm not, it's basically every weekend, and in relatively small doses depending on what I'm doing. But I don't know. Let's see. Spider Dance from Undertale. Okay, I will say though, say what you will of Undertale, I'm really indifferent towards it, but you know what? The OST is a banger. Like, to this day, Megalovania, as memeable as it gets, I still really enjoy it. The whole like, I don't know, man, it's iconic at this point. Well, let's see. It's a little energetic. It doesn't really give a relaxation vibe, but you know what? Let me hear it out. How long have I had this account? I believe since... When did Legendary Robin drop in Fire Emblem Heroes? That was in 2017. So yeah, I've had this account for about, yeah, almost 9 years. Holy crap, time flies. I don't really pay attention to the music. Okay, Nick, to each their own. I'll say that much. It's a little noisy, but I think I can work with it. All the levels in Spyro had their music built around the finished levels? Oh. So the OST got composed after the map layout? Okay. You know what? That's smart. I like it. I feel like it should be the standard, but hey, I really don't know. I'm not an expert on the stuff behind the scenes. Rehydrated is just in stereo while the original is in mono for some reason? Huh. Interesting. Bonus world boss theme from The Adventures of Cookie and Cream. Yeah, I have never heard of I have never heard of 10 of those 15 words you just said, Boo. Wait, was it 15 words? Yeah, I am not familiar with anything you just said. I'll tell you that much. It was 11 words, actually. Adventures of Cookies and Cream. Yeah, I have never heard of this. I have no idea what the heck this is. But I can work with it. Yeah, this seems tame enough. This seems chill enough, for lack of a better term. Quicksilver Vault theme from or for Atmosphere Swamp. I'm gonna say from. Oh, Skylanders. Okay. I'm listening. Just the Undertale. Oh, for the atmosphere. Sonic CD Palm Tree Panic. Okay, I've said it once, I'll said it before. If there's one thing they usually don't go wrong with when it comes to Sonic, it's usually the OST. Except that one time they did. You know what? I'll show you guys exactly what I mean when it comes to that antithesis. Let me just hear this first. Okay. Okay. Okay, it kind of slaps, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, no, I am not. Why am I humming to the beat? I do not recognize it whatsoever. I guess I just thought the tempo was gonna repeat itself. But seriously though, guys, hold on. Let me see if I even recognize it. Hold on. You know how I said Sonic usually doesn't miss with its soundtrack? Do I even recognize the name of the track? Hold on. Is this what I... This is what I meant. Just listen. Arguably, you know what? Just read the comments and you'll see what I mean. When you bust out the MIDI keyboard. Is this what happens when you convert an image to a MIDI? So apparently there was a licensing... Oh, wait, really? Hold on. Apparently there was a licensing issue and the guy who had to do the music had to redo the entire soundtrack in less than a week. Really puts it into perspective. This is how you say, please kill me in notes. So what sort of sound do you want to just screw me up? Say no more. No autotune, no mixing, just straight. Human music. I like it. Wait, is that just a quote from the game, I'm guessing? I must say, it's inspiring of them to make the soundtrack of the game in Mario Paint. Oh my gosh, it does give a Mario Paint vibe. You know what? He's not wrong. They're not wrong. I still can't believe this is the music. Considering the Sonic series is generally known for its music. Thank you. That's what I'm saying. This feels just insane. I mean, it almost sounds like music. It kind of is, Slop. It kind of is. Oh, gosh. The Adventures of Cookie and Cream is a game that has lived on... Okay, I'm gonna be real with you guys. I do not want to hear this more than what I need to. It's just... Yikes. The Adventures of Cookie and Cream is a game that has lived on in your family since your days of the PS2. Wow. So you know what? We all got that one game that... We all got a handful, or maybe just one game that nobody's ever heard of, but you go way back with it. I get it. I can't think of any personally for myself, but yeah, I understand the feeling more or less. Like, I don't know. Everyone has that one game that came out back in the day that nobody's ever heard of, but you really just hold a really big soft spot for it. Like for me, it's... You know what? Since I got 13 people in here, I'm gonna leave it to you guys to guess. Let me put it... I'm just gonna give you a few hints and hopefully you can guess it. It was on the GameCube. It's based off a Nickelodeon property. And no, it is not SpongeBob. I'll leave it at that. You know what? Screw it. Nah, why do I need these riddles? Basically, I'm just show you guys. Hold on. Let me just like make sure I can Google it without doxing myself on accident or whatever. Yeah, for me, it was this. Rocket Power Beach Bandits. Y'all remember Rocket Power? Speaking of it, while we're on the topic of Nickelodeon shows, more or less, y'all remember Rocket Power? Not the best Nickelodeon show. It definitely, it gives that 90s extreme kind of vibe, but I don't know. Like, I definitely do have a soft spot for it. Especially the game in question. I feel like I played this game more than I watched the actual series. Like, what does that tell you? Like, I don't know. It was fun, and I definitely do remember the soundtrack. Speaking of the soundtrack, though, you know what? Hold on. Let's add in something from there. Talking the power of Juju? Close. Close, Lonely. Close. You know what? I don't blame you for jumping to that conclusion. Okay, I did not care about the main menu theme, I'll tell you that much. Hold on. Where is it? There you go. Hold on. Okay, is it just me or does it have less instruments than what I remember? Nah, I guess I just had nostalgia goggles. Wait for it. You know what? I gotta add some of these tracks. I gotta use them in my videos at some point. Like, I don't know, just as a bit of an obscure reference, if nothing else. Especially because I mostly talk about one Nickelodeon show in particular, but maybe it's a little on the nose. I don't know. But all right, guys, I'd say it's been well over 5 minutes, so yeah, the music queue is more or less closed, if nothing else. Yeah, more or less, K-Dot. Like, to be fair, it was definitely a product of the time, if nothing else. I mean, when did the show start? What was it? Early 2000s. I want to say 2001. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, it came at a time where that whole extreme skater kind of tone from the 90s, it was definitely already on its way out, at least of the cultural zeitgeist. So yeah, I can see why it flopped, more or less, or rather, I can see why most people don't remember it. But I don't know. I definitely do have a soft spot for it. Like, that's the thing, Loli. I almost don't remember a single episode of it. What next? I don't know. Okay, I do have something in mind, and it came to me as I was watching this video. I kind of want to watch a couple chunks of Tunchi's worst to best animated movies of 2025. Oh gosh, he does talk about Naughty or Nice. You know what? Even though I haven't seen the movie, I've more or less been spoiled on all the important elements. Lucy showing her eyes, Lincoln getting turned into a cookie, which, even without watching the movie, I can already tell they botched it, and it comes off as really dumb. But let's see. We're just gonna watch the first couple minutes of it, and then I think we'll just get to some Mario Galaxy, guys. I just want to sit back and relax a little bit. And like I said, I want to keep the stream a little short because I've got a lot of editing to do. But to compensate, guys, like I said, there might be a stream on Monday, just because I don't work that day. Okay, leading off with Bayonetta music, respect. I love Let's Do... You know what? On one hand, it's too cheerful for what's supposed to be relaxing background music, but you know what? I love this track, guys. Bayonetta music in general is high-key underrated. You know what? Screw it. Add it. It might be a little contextually inappropriate in most circumstances, but you know what? Screw it. I love it. Just hear it in your own time, guys. I'd love to show it on stream, but I'm a bit on the clock. Y'all hear? Hold on. Cue the sax.
2020.
Ah, really? You cut right as the sax was about to pop off. Okay. I see how it is.
5, the year that apparently seems to have been absolute hell.
Okay, no, he's just speaking over. The sax is still there.
For everyone who isn't me. Apologies if I sound weird at any point during this video. I am still recovering from the bubonic plague. I can't lie, I had a pretty good year myself, but I have no other wish in my heart than for everyone else on the planet to have a similar experience to me going into 2026. Now, the recent news headlines are certainly not helping with all my viewers in Greenland right now. But yeah, what a year.
Wait, what was going on in Greenland? When was this published? 2 weeks ago. Wait, what's going on in Greenland?
For this channel, 2025 was my most successful year on YouTube to date. 3
Yeah.
million views
3 million views on his Incredibles video, which is honestly kind of crazy, but you know what? I get it. I'm glad the YouTube algorithms bless him in that regard.
on the hidden lore of The Incredibles. Jesus Christ, thank you so much for that. And even though I'm growing out of and getting tired of making animation-related content,
Yeah, I did start watching JoJo Part 3. I just finished Part 2, and we're on Stardust Crusaders now. Just the first episode though, guys, and I'm watching one episode daily, at least Tuesday through Friday, according to because, for some reason, Mexican Adult Swim just refuses to air a new episode on Monday,
still feel obligated
even though that season is like what, 12 years old now, 11 years old. I really don't know off the top of my head.
to put out a good few videos before experimenting
All I know is I look forward to not being a tourist when it comes to all the memes anymore.
with some new ideas. Specifically, I am absolutely obligated to continue my series ranking every animated movie that was released in the past year from worst to best. Or at
Oh.
the very least the ones that I find notable. As with every previous year, you aren't going to find many bargain bin, low budget movies in here because there's like 20 of those released every year and this video would get extremely bloated very quickly. I'll be
Yeah.
honest, 2025 was a pretty dire year for mainstream animated movies. And I do mean on the mainstream side of things.
Wait, we got another Diary of a Wimpy Kid? I did not know about this.
It's not like there weren't any good movies coming out, but there was just a lot of mid and outright bad films contrasted with
Have I watched the Chainsaw Man movie? Tails, I've said it once, I'll say it again. I don't really watch a lot of anime, guys. Like, the only ones that I have are really just because friends have more or less spurred me into it.
very few truly exceptional ones.
Not that I regret anything or I feel bad about it, it's just happenstance.
And even then, I didn't really watch that many movies this year due to burnout as well as me just generally being more interested in other things. Well, I'm gonna try and keep my reviews of all these movies as short as possible. I hope these short reviews can still satisfy you if you were wondering why I skipped reviewing a shitload of movies this
Okay, I will say this though, guys. What was this movie called again? Neza? Did I even pronounce that right? It's crazy how this movie that I literally didn't even know how to see, didn't even know how to predecessor, managed to become the highest grossing film of all time in like what, just a month? Like that's how you know the Chinese market is just crazy when it comes to money.
year. Look, I would have
Just dominates when it comes to overall grossing and whatnot.
reviewed K-pop Demon Hunters if I cared that much about it, but you know, good movie though. Maybe one day I'll
Yeah.
give some of these movies a more in-depth review, but for now, let's keep things simple. As usual, we will be starting from the worst and then making our way up.
I love how the fact that the moment he says starting with the worst, he just shows us Rihanna Smurfs. I'm not sure. I'm sure there's an actual director for this film, but apparently that was the biggest point in the marketing. Rihanna is Smurfs. Every time you see this movie, you see promotion for this movie in particular, you just see Rihanna as Smurfette. Like, okay, I get it. Celebrity casting. Who cares?
Up to the best of the best. Eventually. And also, this will be limited to films that I myself have watched, obviously. So grab a snack and some patience because we're jumping straight into Sneaks.
Oh?
I too wish I was doing something else.
What the heck is Snakes?
I've made a vow to not go around reviewing low-effort bargain bin movies because they're usually easy pickings. But of course, Sneaks just had to punch above its weight and release in theaters because f*** my life. Sneaks has the balls to ask the general audience a bold question. What if Toy Story 2 was actually bad?
But with shoes. Oh, okay. Toy Story, but with shoes. Okay, say no more.
Okay, that was a low blow. Not a single frame of this movie is even remotely inspired. It's a creative black hole that isn't even interesting to analyze in the way a car crash in a school zone is. It's
Oh, gosh.
boring bad, and I wouldn't even recommend it if it was the last option you had. Like, at that point, just grab your grandma's copy of A Study in Scarlet and just make a flipbook of a guy blowing his shit smooth off. It would be substantially more entertaining. The only interesting thing about
Every time someone puts a gun to their head, guys, I just immediately think, bro, I'm gonna Persona 3 myself. Like, like it's crazy how much of a staple that's become in meme culture.
this movie is how shockingly stacked the cast is. Anthony Mackie, Sway
Oh,
Lee, Keith David, Lawrence
Oh my. Okay, a lot of very respectable actors. Keith David, big fan. Lawrence Fishburne, big fan.
Fishburne fucking mustard somehow. A huge waste of time for
Okay, I don't know about that one, Chief.
everyone involved. And it seems like the production of the movie was a huge mess as well. Now, most of this is according to what I found on Wikipedia because I genuinely can't be bothered. But apparently, Pixar veteran Teddy Newton was on board to direct the film.
And
got
then what?
replaced with Rob Edwards, who previously helped write the screenplay for Treasure Planet, so in theory, he's my fucking hero. But clearly something went wrong there. And despite the movie being in production since 2018,
Wow. 7 years in production and it still sucks. Oh my goodness, man. Why does this keep happening? Why does this keep happening with media that just gets delayed over and over and over again? This, Mighty Number 9, and really just those two examples off the top of my head.
They only started voice recording in November 2024, which was a solid
Oh my
5 months before the movie first.
Okay, how long did it take to write this? Because, okay, I'm not really too much of an expert. Okay, I kind of am when it comes to behind the scenes. I did study film in college, but yeah, realistically, the time window should not be that big. I don't care how much money you got.
Premiere, like what? How? That has to be wrong, right? How does that even? Forget it. Forget
Yeah.
it. Worst
I don't get it either, man.
animated movie of the year.
I was gonna say, what the heck is this? But then I saw the Netflix in the poster, so I was like, okay, that makes sense.
$20,000.
Oh,
Under what?
no!
Vote for John John
No.
is a vote for fun.
You know, I'm content.
How many more times are we gonna do this? How many? Can't I just? Never mind.
To just
Whatever I gotta say here, it's probably gonna come off as redundant.
leave it there, but I'm actually just kind of offended by this movie's existence. I love Roald Dahl. I used to read his books all the time as a kid.
Wait, it's based off of a Roald Dahl book? Really?
And I'm very happy that, unlike a lot of popular authors, his books have received a lot of high-quality film.
Yeah. Willy Wonka, Matilda, The Witches. Okay, maybe James and the Giant Peach. I don't know. That's pushing it a little, but really.
Adaptations. There's a couple of bad ones here and there, sure, but the twits. The twits. I don't use the term offensively awful, like, at all, but as someone who read this book a lot as a kid, I struggle to find anything remotely enjoyable about this. For one thing, I think if you take a Roald Dahl story and Americanize it to the point that it's completely unrecognizable, you should be put in a gulag. It doesn't
Okay, calm down, bro. It's not that deep.
work. With full respect and also full offense intended to my American viewers, keep your fucking Yankee hands off Roald Dahl. You cannot make it work that way.
Yankee
It's not that
hands?
The plot is different or the fact that I find it deep.
I'm not sure if that's a good term to generalize the American populace, if nothing else. Maybe New Yorkers, but Americans? I don't know, man.
Cringe-inducing hearing American voices in this story. The story just isn't good. It retains some of the original book's identity.
Okay, I don't know anything about the book, so I'd rather he elaborate, but it looks like he's gonna be done with this segment soon enough.
But the moment they shifted the focus to these stupid kids, I just mentally checked out. A good thing too, because the film is also painfully unfunny, as was previously highlighted. I still
Yeah.
can't get over the fact this is Rexplode. Jason
Bro, Jason Mantzoukas, he can be funny, but he definitely has a couple roles where I'm like, what are you doing, man? It's happening here. It happened at Big Mouth. Like, he can be funny. In Brooklyn Nine-Nine, he was hilarious as Pimento. The Good Place, hilarious as freaking Derek. Okay, maybe that's pushing it, but still though, like in I'd say Brooklyn Nine-Nine was the peak of his acting career, if nothing else, because he was really funny.
Mantzoukas really be doing anything at this point. My entire goddamn
Like, bro's just doing anything for a paycheck.
ass dickhead. I would only recommend.
Why did he have to go there, man? Why did he have to go? If you've seen Invincible, then you'll be asking yourself the same question.
To someone on the condition of, once you finish the movie, rewatch Fantastic Mr. Fox about 3 times in a row just to cleanse a demon from your soul.
You know what? I'm a little surprised that Smurfs is not ranked the lowest, but let's see. See, guys, just any poster of this movie is just gonna have the words "Rihanna is Smurfette" right above the title for some reason.
Hey guys, I'm about to blow your mind, but did you know that Rihanna is Smurfette? I can't believe for the big 2025 I found out.
Why is this their biggest selling point, guys? I'm not saying Rihanna is washed by any means. I enjoy some of her music, but really, this is the hill you want to die on?
Even I can get tricked into watching a movie.
You know, let me rephrase that. This is the hill you were dying on.
Where James Corden is the protagonist.
Oh, yeah, that doesn't
I
help.
definitely don't think this Smurfs movie is as bad as the other Smurfs movies, but that's not exactly a high bar to clear. Like, wow,
Is there a single good Smurfs movie now that I think about it?
the dog shit on the carpet this time as opposed to my bed. No idea why they decided this had to be a live-action hybrid movie where the Smurfs go to our world, because it has
Again? It's not.
literally no bearing on the plot
Yeah, and why are they doing it again for like the third time?
whatsoever. And said plot is both trying to do something completely new and off the rails with the Smurfs by turning them into these intergalactic peacekeepers or some shit,
I mean, Swamp, if you listen to Disturbia, it kind of makes sense. I'm not gonna lie.
and yet it's so
I think the best Roald Dahl adaptation was Matilda, and it's not because of Danny DeVito. Okay, to be fair, but I think Danny DeVito did direct the film, so technically it kind of would be because of him. Not entirely, but you know what I mean.
ambitious about its ambition that you'll be fighting your closing eyelids by the halfway point. The Smurfs as a franchise is in dire need of some kind
But in terms of a faithful adaptation, yeah, Matilda more or less got it down. I'm not too much of an expert on the book, but from what people have told me, yeah, I get it.
of reinvention. Not to completely change their identity or anything, but if Hollywood keeps insisting on making movies about these blue little shits, then something needs to change. The songs in this one weren't that bad. The new Rihanna song that premiered in the movie is actually fairly decent, and I
Well, at least they got their mileage out of Rihanna in more than one way.
can see the potential of the plot centering around a Smurf suffering from an identity crisis, but this was in dire need of another draft or two. They were onto something with this one, but decided to just phone it in anyway, and now the film only exists to launder money for Rihanna.
Yeah, fair. Yeah. I don't know why that word didn't occur to me. It basically is just a money laundering scheme.
Very bad movie with a lazy plot, but at least it doesn't give me nightmares.
Wait, there's a Witcher movie? What? Okay, I know there was a series, but a whole animated movie? Really? For the record, guys, again, I know little to nothing about The Witcher.
I will pay damn good money for someone to take The Witcher out of Netflix's hands, because I would like to actually
Yeah.
get something from this franchise.
Yeah, I've seen the headlines. I know the way they've done Henry Cavill dirty, if nothing else.
Someday without being constantly exposed to mid. And yes, I know the Witcher games are good. I've been meaning to play them for a while, but I'm a busy man, you hear? Leave me to my turn-based Yakuza games. I've also been meaning to read the Witcher books for a while now, and honestly, after watching this movie for the purpose of this video, I might just go and do that, because holy this is boring.
Really?
Apparently, according to longtime Witcher fans, it completely butchers the story it's trying to adapt to. And seeing that it has the same people behind it as the live-action Witcher series on Netflix, I'm not entirely surprised. There's not a whole
Yeah,
lot I
it
can
more or
talk
less
about
checks
here,
out.
as I'm not a Witcher fan.
At least judging from the problems that happen behind the scenes.
And yet, but I can say from an outsider's perspective that this was a very boring movie. And I'm certainly not the only person who pointed this out, but this story is just Disney's The Little Mermaid for adults, only stripped of all of its color and whimsy and fucking boring. I'm not even a Witcher fan, and I'm
Okay.
insulted on you guys' behalf. The animation ranges from fine to outright ugly, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm really getting tired of Netflix's quasi-anime art style you see in so many of their animated Netflix originals.
Yeah, it's definitely giving a whole... What's the name of the guy who made Netflix's Devil May Cry? It definitely gives that Eddie Shankar vibe, and I definitely don't mean that in a good way.
It just looks so damn soulless and unappealing. They gave this treatment
Like,
to
yeah.
Devil May Cry,
Oh.
and I wish that was the
Okay, speak of the devil.
worst thing I could say about that series. I would rather talk about anything other than The Witcher Sirens of the Deep. Only watch this if you want your soul.
Have I ever listened to Biggering from 2012's The Lorax? I know little to nothing about... I've read the book, Swamp. I've read the book of The Lorax, but I never saw the Illumination film. And from what people have told me, it's actually really terrible. Not even counting for the songs.
Soul to be drained. One of the most boring movies of the year.
Oh boy, here we go. Here we go. I love the fact that this is pretty much the shortest segment out of all the reviews here. Okay, maybe not the shortest, but still. Guys, you already know. Tunchi hates talking about the show nowadays, and I don't blame him.
Hey, Cartoonchi, it's time for your government-mandated Loud House review.
Government mandated.
I hate you. I hate you, and I'm going to kill you. I'm gonna speed through this as fast as possible. If you're a Loud House fan and you enjoyed this movie, more power to you, but I feel
I'm more or less a Loud House fan, and I haven't seen it, but I probably won't. I'll tell you that much.
the same way I did about this movie as I did all the previous Loud House movies. Not even my inherent love of Christmas movies was enough to save this one for me. I'm a 21-year-old man. I accepted back when I was 16 that the Loud House was not for me. I find these movies incredibly by the numbers and unfunny. The
Honestly, guys, I genuinely do wonder sometimes. This show is really not for me either. At least not anymore. Like, the only reason I watch it is because content and hey, get a good laugh out of it and bond with the community, if nothing else. In terms of the show itself, though, at least judging from modern episodes, can I really consider myself a fan? I don't know.
The only noteworthy scene in this is the part where Lincoln essentially gets f***ing killed and turned
Yeah, I don't blame him, Nick. I really don't blame him.
into a gingerbread man and his family just stands there, most of them barely reacting. Like, it feels scientifically engineered to be turned into a DeviantArt reaction image.
Never mind the fact that, at least presumably and narratively, this moment did not feel earned whatsoever. And yeah, these reactions, man.
Barely reacting. Like, it feels scientifically
I feel like that's just the tip of the iceberg with this movie's problems, but let's see what he has to say.
engineered to be turned into a DeviantArt reaction image.
Very fitting for this fandom, if nothing else. And I mean that in the worst of ways.
One bit of praise I have is towards the visuals. It's nothing crazy, obviously, but Loud House has always had an appealing art style that pops when some extra lighting is thrown into the mix. But
Yeah.
other than that, not for me.
I suppose it is colorful, if nothing else. Oh, wait. Okay, one, like I asked before, there's another Diary of a Wimpy Kid movie. Two, it's based on one of the very few books that I actually read growing up, let alone my favorite. All right, how did they screw it up?
I'm gonna be honest, I thought they just stopped making these after 2024 came
Yeah, me too, actually.
and went without a new Wimpy Kid movie. And now I'm confused why they turned The Last Straw into a Christmas movie for some reason. Like, really? The Last Straw? I thought the whole point of skipping The Last Straw back in 2023 was so you could adapt Cabin Fever.
Yeah, because it was the first one, then Roderick Rules, both of which got live action movies, and then chronologically in the books it was The Last Straw, but in live action they just went straight to Dog Days. So why are they doing it here? I don't know.
Have that be the Christmas movie, because that actually makes logical sense. Are we about to see a Wimpy Kid cinematic universe comprised entirely of shoddy Christmas movies?
Please don't.
Are Greg and Rowley gonna repair their friendship in the Ugly Truth adaptation via the miracle of Christmas? Pretty much every critique I had of the previous films applies here. This feels like it came off an assembly line and is so far from reaching the iconic heights and charms of the original live-action movies.
Okay, to be fair though, the live action Dog Days was pretty, well, dog water. Pun completely intended. The first two were fine, but the third one, I definitely thought it got really boring.
The animation is a little better, I guess, but I will never understand why Jeff Kinney somehow sees these movies as improvements over.
Wait, really? How did your storytelling influence the vision for the upcoming film on Disney Plus? The film is based on my first book, so that was the starting point, but I wanted to tell a better story than what's in the book, so I had to learn a lot about screenwriting. Wait, what? Okay, I'm not saying these stories are anything revolutionary in terms of storytelling, but I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about this.
Over his original books. Like, what are we doing, man? The Last Straw is rarely remembered by anyone as a major standout installment, so a film adaptation could
Fair, Swamp, fair. Yeah, your idol is a banger.
have definitely done a lot to make it more memorable. At least that's what a Dog Days movie did. They combined
Even then, Nick, that's even if they had good enough even if they were drawn good enough reactions, just judging from what I know about the circumstance, it did not feel earned. Like, we know Lincoln's gonna be fine. He did it for some elf he barely met. Why are they reacting? Like, it just felt so forced. Just fantasy elements in general in that franchise just feel forced. But you know what? I've said enough about that.
Last Straw and Dog Days together into something that felt infinitely more memorable. I would not have minded it if they just did that again but animated this time. It certainly would have left more of an impression.
Okay, I will say this. I watched like the first 10 minutes of this film, like when I was on my train to Anaheim back in August, and I'm not gonna lie, I couldn't stomach it. I kind of hated it. Like, on one hand, you got people saying, oh my gosh, it's just run-of-the-mill, disgusting, raunchy comedy. And some people are saying, oh, give it a chance. It may be a little raunchy, but the humor's in the right place. Like, I don't know. Maybe I was judging it too preemptively, but at the same time, did I?
Arguably the most divisive animated movie in some time, Fix has had an uphill battle ever since its first trailer forever stained its reputation.
From the guy who made Samurai Jack, by the way.
And yeah, the trailer is pretty bad, but the movie itself is slightly less
Preaching to the choir. Can I get the mic a little higher?
bad. This is definitely not for me. I didn't like this one too much. It pains me to say that about something made by the GOAT Tartakovsky, but I struggle to comprehend that this was the R-rated, traditionally animated movie he was working on for all those years. I can tolerate a lot
Was
of
it?
raunchy jokes, but Fix just felt way too crass despite some occasionally funny lines. The voice work all around is pretty excellent though, and as expected the animation is fantastic.
I mean, good voice work is one thing, but it's not enough to carry a whole movie. I'll tell you that much.
Just wish I could see what others see in this without feeling a mix of apathy and disgust. The people that hate this movie though really fucking hate it, and I do think the negative backlash towards it is super overblown. Leave it to the cartoon community to start harassing hardworking artists and crew members just because they don't like
Okay, that's a whole nother issue altogether. Guys, seriously, I don't know why the internet embraces this collective mob / hive mind mentality, but please do not go after actual voice actors and artists of any media you dislike. That is such an absurd, and that is just a glaring sign of immaturity. Like, okay, this character is broken in, like, back when Brigitte first dropped in Overwatch, people were saying, oh my, like, the actual voice actress was getting harassed, even though she has nothing to do with the game's balance, and somehow she was getting harassed off of social media. Like, what is wrong with people, man? Like, it's so easy to make the deduction that she has nothing to do with it, and yet there's some idiot going on her Instagram going, this character is broken, or something like that.
something. Never change, guys.
Like, it's so easy to apply a simple sense of logic, yet somehow it's a lot to ask for.
Fucking babies.
Wait, this was a thing? We had a whole Jesus movie last year? Okay. Let's see.
We've now reached the movies that aren't quite bad enough to be at the bottom of the list, but also aren't
Probably not that good either, as is with most biblical films. Except for Prince of Egypt. And I guess technically the first two Narnia movies.
quite good enough to get anything other than a resounding meh. I would rather explain and get that out of the way now before my next inevitable death threat for calling something mid. All words are made up, but all words mean something, you know. Anyway, King of Kings is mid. The bar for Christian animated movies is usually not very high, and
Wait, who is this little boy and why is he at Jesus' crucifixion? Okay, I have questions that don't need answers.
apologies if this strikes you as particularly soy, I am deeply atheistic, so there was no real chance I was going to be moved by this. If you fuck with Jesus like that though, then you're probably going to like this more than I did. It's a very safe movie about Jesus.
I'm not sure. Okay, if I'm being impartial, I wouldn't.
Not much can go wrong, but there's not a whole lot
Probably.
that stands out to anyone who isn't a devout Christian. To King of Kings' credit, it's definitely one of the more respectable Christian
Like, keep in mind, guys, even if you don't have, let me put it this way, you don't have to be religious to acknowledge that the Prince of Egypt is goated in any capacity. It's just good storytelling, good visuals, good artistry, good voice acting. It's got everything, and it happens to be based off a biblical property. I'll leave it at that.
animated movies I've seen, as in it clearly has its heart in the right place and is clearly sincere, made by actual good
As a matter of fact, I didn't swap, and I don't know what it is. I just never cared for any sort of game revolving around the Mii's. They just feel like, let me put it this way, guys. Mii's, they feel like Nintendo's industry plant. For whatever it's worth nowadays.
faith Christians instead of being borderline indoctrination. It's still a very heavy-handed movie, kind of hard to avoid that though. It is about Jesus.
I mean, it is about, yeah, exactly.
But it's not tasteless or acts like you're going to be hung up and spanked in the center of the Hansman Hotel if you don't believe in God or his dead son. Okay, all jokes out the window. I really don't mean any offense to my Christian viewers because I know some of you exist. But if some of you can do me a solid and graduate from film school so we can start getting some actual fucking quality Christian
I mean, I'm no expert, but if any religious folk out there that graduate in film, I don't think this is the kind of material that they have in mind.
movies, that would be great. I'm sure a lot more people like me would convert to Christianity if we got a film adaptation of the Bible too. I'd be willing to worship.
I mean, apparently there's like a whole movie about David coming, and I did see a couple clips of it on Twitter, and it doesn't look that bad in terms of writing and animation, if nothing else.
this.
What the heck is it? What? Lesbian? Okay. I have no idea what this.
I expected more from a movie with the best title of all time. Instead, I just got a rather middling comedy. I expected this one to be, like, insanely off the wall, but it's just kinda there. The artwork and animation are nice, and I respect how bold the movie is. There's the occasional funny line as well. There's a lot of stuff here that works.
Wait, how far are we into the video? Okay, I'm only about 12 minutes in. I kind of want to finish it though, guys. I'm not gonna lie. How far are we into the stream? Now that I think about it. Okay, we're an hour and 20 minutes in. I am definitely losing track of time.
But is overall let down by most of the jokes coming from the big mouth department of, hey guys, we're rated R.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I expected no less.
Still, the movie clearly has its
Like, that's the thing about so many adult shows and comedies, especially animated ones, guys. They just really love hinging on R-rated jokes, especially ones revolving around sexuality.
fans. There's probably something
Like, just because you're meant for adults, you can work with more than that. I'll tell you that
I'm
much.
missing here. I do wish we had more loud and proud queer stories that weren't just loaded with sex jokes, but that's just me.
That's a lot to ask for, man. Like, it almost feels like a quid pro quo.
Will say though, good luck trying to find a single good faith review of this movie on YouTube amid the sea of grifters who saw it as an easy target.
I have not bumped into a single one, to my surprise. Okay, as far as this movie's concerned, guys, apparently a lot of people were up in arms because of one scene in this movie, and I think Tunchi's gonna talk about it here, but let's see.
When I first saw this movie being advertised, I could have sworn it had already been released like years prior. That's how homogenous the whole thing looked. You can usually take a glance at an animated film released these days and be able to quickly tell if it's a Netflix original or not. In Your Dreams failed to impress on basically every level, settling for the
Really?
purest definition of average from its visuals to its
Like, I'm not gonna lie, I saw like the first 5 minutes of this film and I got really bored, guys. I'll tell you that much.
story. A lot of people seem to like this movie, and I'll admit it's a very sweet story, and as someone who's always had trouble coping and keeping up with constant change in my life, I greatly value any story that teaches kids how to embrace and cope with change. It's quite an important lesson. I don't care how many of these stories feel the same, because it will eventually lead to a 5% decrease in the amount of screaming kids in the corner of my local Greg's.
What the heck is oh, right. Sometimes I gotta remind myself, guys, Tunchi is British. I don't know how I don't pick that up from his accent, but I was about to say, what the heck is a Greg's? And I'm guessing it's probably a British restaurant chain.
But apart from that, In Your Dreams plays it very safe. Definitely not bad, just very uninspired. Visually, it has some okay ideas, but it has this second-hand feel to it that I can't quite describe. I'm constantly put off by how uncanny the characters' faces look as well. It gives
Yeah, that's exactly. That's the one thing that definitely detracts me from this film. Like the textures on the faces, they're just nah, they're just ugly. I can't really think of a better way to describe it. They're just ugly.
it a bargain bin visual quality that makes it blend in with all of the other Netflix original junk, and it was super distracting.
Yeah, from what I've heard, the original Tomodachi wasn't that bad, but apparently a lot of people were angry because there was no gay marriage. That's really the extent of my knowledge when it comes to that game.
I have a massive list of guilty pleasure dumb fun movies, and I'm tempted to add both Batman Ninja movies on here once I decide how
Really?
I actually feel about them. Because on one hand, they are both utterly ridiculous, spectacle-driven action
Oh my gosh, what is that? What are these shots? It feels so unrendered.
movies with literally no substance to speak of, and yet at the same time, I have to be in a very particular mood to actually enjoy them compared to any other movie I have in my guilty
I don't know how I feel about this frame rate style, if anything
Like
else.
the list. Batman Ninja vs. Yakuza League is definitely a better film than the first, but not by a whole lot.
I don't even know there was a first one.
These movies
What the heck is Batman Ninja? This is the thing?
know exactly what they are and know exactly what to do.
Is that the Flash on the top left? Like, what am I looking at?
deliver on. So if you're down to watch a movie that begins with a fucking Yakuza tornado hitting Gotham City,
Okay, that does sound kind of crazy though. That does sound like it goes hard.
then feel free to give it a shot. Stylistically, I do like how these movies look. I just don't vibe with
Wait,
how
is
they
that
look in
Damien
motion.
Robin?
The
Like-
artwork is fantastic when looking at
I
the
have so
screen,
many
but
questions. This is so
when it's
ridiculous, but I kind of love it. Is that Ra's al Ghul?
moving, it just looks kind of jank and ugly to me. The
Yeah.
voice acting all around is pretty great too, at least in Japanese. I took one look at the English dub trailer and stopped watching when I realized Robin sounds like Fat Deku.
Japan is gone?
No offense to whoever this is, I
Okay, if that's supposed to be Damien, that definitely doesn't help the character.
just thought it was funny. They got Koichi Yamadera to voice Batman, I mean holy shit. Speaking of Yakuza, the most interesting thing about that is Koichi Yamadera voices Shun Akiyama in the
Oh, that's why he's biased. I was like, who the heck is Koichi Yamadera, whatever.
aka one of my favorite characters of all time. That was your government mandated Yakuza reference for the video. It doesn't
Okay, I have heard surprisingly good, at least judging from the reviews that I've seen on the internet. No, wait, no. Yeah, Search for SquarePants, from what people have told me, it's not bad. But let's see.
Okay, obvious jokes out the way. Can someone explain to me in detail what Search for SquarePants actually means? It doesn't describe the movie, like, at all, so I'm just wondering, like, what the f*** are they searching for? Congratulations on doing the first movie again, I guess. Okay, that's not very fair.
Did
Search
they?
for SquarePants does have a mostly different plot compared to the first movie, involving the Flying Dutchman and him trying to manipulate SpongeBob into breaking his curse, so I will say giving each SpongeBob movie their government-mandated go-to-the-surface moment lost its luster like 3 to 4 movies ago. But despite
Yeah.
the differences in events, the actual purpose of the narrative as well as the themes are identical to the first movie. SpongeBob tries to prove that he's a man, and then ends the movie having accepted the more positive outlook on his masculinity.
Oh. Not necessarily masculinity, but yeah.
Embracing that, and then defying the expectations of toxic masculinity placed on him by just being a pleasant little fella, like, you know, like a
Just
goofy-
literally just more or less a kid. I know people say, oh, SpongeBob is canonically like 30-something years old, but he's a sea sponge. It's not, can't really hold him to the same standards as I would have in any other ordinary human.
goober, if you will. Search for SquarePants does the exact same thing by having SpongeBob try and become a swashbuckler to prove that he's a quote-unquote big guy, whatever that means. I swear they paid Ice Spice to make that song years ago and just kept it under wraps until they had finished the script.
That song is awful, by the way, guys. Listen to it on your own time. Even if I wanted to play it on stream, which I don't, I'm not going to.
Because every instance of the phrase big guy used throughout this movie feels very shoehorned and unnatural. Either that or they were completely aware they were borrowing the main plot from the first movie and didn't want to be too on the nose about calling SpongeBob a man. I'm
Crazy how 20-something years later, all these plot lines feel surprisingly redundant. At least just in terms of the messaging, and from what he said so far.
sorry if I'm being too negative and cynical here. In actuality, the movie really isn't that bad. In fact, I found the first half of the film to be fun and fairly amusing at times. A good amount of the jokes here do feel like classic SpongeBob. But despite the film's short runtime, it quickly overstays its welcome for me and just got irritating.
Did SpongeBob literally just crap a brick? Not the best impression, I'll tell you that much.
After a while. I do like how they focused a lot on SpongeBob and Mr. Krabs' friendship. In fact, this might be the best Mr. Krabs has been written in years. And I like the
Really?
involvement of the Flying Dutchman, and Mark Hamill does a very good
To be honest, guys, I really don't expect much out of Mr. Krabs as a character. Like, he has done some heinous stuff, even in the first 3 seasons. Gambled SpongeBob's employment away in a game of cards against Plankton, sold his soul for like 63 cents. Like, he has done some really messed up crap. Not that I really hold it against. Like, SpongeBob is the kind of show, unlike, say, The Loud House, where if a character behaves horribly, like, it's more or less for comedic purposes, and it's funny.
job of voicing him.
If nothing
The
else.
animation was fine, I guess. There are specific moments that stood out, but I really don't get why they couldn't have gone for a Sponge on the Run look again. That's how you translate SpongeBob into
I really don't understand why. Like, SpongeBob has always inherently been 2D animation, at least initially, originally. So I don't know. Would it really been that crazy to just create this movie with 2D animation? Like, I don't know, man.
3D as far as I'm concerned.
62 cents, my bad.
But overall, I found Search for SquarePants to be a very mixed experience. Not one that I would put off rewatching at some point, but if
Why is he literally staring at his?
failed to leave much of a lasting
Okay, get my head out of the gutter. I need to get my head out of the gutter.
impression.
Okay, this is. I was gonna say we're gonna leave it at this, but I kind of want to see what he has to say about Elio, because I don't know, guys. This movie was mid. I'll say that much. For a Pixar film, it was woefully mid.
This is like the one movie on this list I had to actually go back and
Oh, why'd I have to put in the Mario Galaxy music in the background?
rewatch because I remembered next to all about Elio, which isn't to say the movie is bad. I actually think it's fine at worst and decent at best. But unfortunately, being just decent doesn't result in a satisfying viewing experience when it comes to Pixar, and specifically Pixar.
Yeah.
Elio is actually quite a funny movie.
The bar is just so freaking high for Pixar.
I found a lot of the jokes pretty funny, and I found Elio himself to be a pretty endearing lead. And there are scattered moments
Honestly, I forgot what the little alien's name is, but I liked him a lot more than the main character. I'll say that much.
throughout the film that actually work quite well in isolation. Hell, the final act of Elio has the potential to be one of the most downright epic things Pixar have ever made, with a ton of legitimately fantastic moments that almost
Really?
had me buy into the hype of the finale. The problem is that the film's plot doesn't do enough to make these moments of brilliance feel truly earned.
Yeah.
The overall plot is quite by the numbers and super predictable. Not
Yeah, just it's okay for the kid. The kid starts off as weird. It's okay for him to be weird. Like, it it feels like the protagonist doesn't make a lot of character progression.
enough to bore me, but
Glordon, there you go.
I didn't really care what was happening for like half the movie. I debated walking out
Yeah, Devin, people say that the original draft was better than what we got. But then apparently, according to not a single member of the test audience for that original draft raised their hand when they were told, "Hey, you want to watch this movie? Would you watch this movie in theaters?" So what does that tell you? It really just tells me that the director was glazing the original draft, and it doesn't help that the director was saying, "Oh, in that version, Elio was a queer-coded 11-year-old." Like, really? That's your biggest selling point? Is that why you're glazing it so much? Because, yeah, in terms of the original test screenings, yeah, nobody liked it. Nobody in the test audience liked it.
the theater at the midpoint because nothing was really clicking with me and I had a lot to do that day. Finding out that a lot of the film's original plot was cut was not surprising. I'm glad I stuck around.
I would. Some people say, "Oh my gosh, Disney's being homophobic," but again, there's that whole issue with the test audience. You really expect me to believe every single one of those 600 to 800 people they got it to watch it are also homophobic? I really don't think so, if I'm being impartial.
A lot of the film's original plot was cut was not surprising. I'm glad I stuck around.
Was it really a myth? But I don't know. Wait, was it? Could have sworn I saw an interview with the director confirming it, but I don't know. It's been like 2 years, guys. Okay, a year and a half, whatever.
Because that final act does genuinely carry the whole film. The only other thing that bothered me was the film's art direction, which, yeah, I know it's not a very brave take to dislike how Elio looks. I even made a whole video about the Discord.
Like, from what I've heard, the only differences, aside from that supposed myth, is the fact that Elio actually still has his mom, still with his mom is still alive and he's living with his mom instead of his aunt or whatever. But I really don't know much else about it.
Of course, surrounding the film's visuals, but I really can't stress enough how
And yeah, there's that whole issue with the bean smile K-Dot, but to be honest, that's never really been a concern for me.
unappealing
Like, I get it, it's a cliche, but it's really never been a make or break for me when it comes to film quality. Even if it is a little cliche.
I found the character designs in the movie, and I'm not just talking about Herder Beanmouth. I mean, a lot of the alien designs themselves are also quite lacking. I do want Pixar to keep experimenting with different art styles, that's not the problem, but I feel like
The problem is those art styles aren't exactly original too. And also, their next original film is literally just a ripoff of Avatar. Not The Last Airbender, the other Avatar, the one that nobody cares about.
need to do more than just putting cartoonier character designs in semi-realistic environments. It only makes the initial complaints about the art direction of their more realistic looking
So was it a misinterpretation from the audience? Because I don't know. It's been a while since I've read up on the headlines.
films more apparent.
So no, really, I guess don't quote me on anything for now. Okay, we're gonna leave it at that, guys, because like I said, I gotta keep the stream short, and I do want to do some missions on Mario Galaxy. So I'm gonna take a bit of a break, set up the Switch, and I'll be right back. Okay. I'd like to believe that everything is set up well enough, but don't quote me on it, guys. Wait, why can't I see? There you go. Okay. I can see chat, but I can't see the Mudkip. Where is he? There you go. I actually saw what was said by someone who was talked to producers from Elio and got better details. Even he said with the information he got, the queer erasure was a myth? Really? Then why would I could have sworn the director said otherwise, but maybe I'm just tripping. Okay, maybe some people on Twitter were just misinterpreting it. I'm not sure what to make of it anymore. Huh. I guess the film was just meant to be mediocre anyways. Not that the queer character would have helped in any capacity, or at least I hope it wouldn't. But that is what it is. Wait, oh my goodness, force a habit. But alright, let me kill the music. You've also thought of joining DeviantArt to put your stuff on there, but I'm not quite sure right now. I'm not sure DeviantArt is the best place to go at it, Swamp, but hey, I'm not stopping you. Like, I don't know, DeviantArt just definitely has so much of a stigma, if nothing else. Like, I don't know. Okay, hold on. Let me reset the capture card, because I can hear the audio crackling already. Hold on. But alright, guys. We're only going to be doing missions for about an hour, and then I'm going to call it there, because I definitely do got to lock in when it comes to editing. I'm sick of the war against Beanmouth being treated like a crime against humanity for some reason. Yeah, I kind of agree, Devin. Yeah, like, honestly, I get it. It's a cliche, but it doesn't really make or break the quality of a movie. Like, as far as Elio's concerned specifically, like, that is the least of its problems when it comes to its mediocrity, if nothing else. But alright. Can I kill the music peacefully now, though? Yo, game capture, hello? Okay, why can't I see it? I guess it's because I closed and resetted the window. Ben Stanley's Truth About Elio video. Okay, you know what? While I get the capture card up and ready, you know what? Sure, let's look into it. Truth About Elio, Ben Stanley.
The so-called queer erasure.
Okay, it's only 7 minutes long. You know what? I can listen to it in the background while I'm setting this up. Why not?
Reportedly happened in the production of Pixar's Elio was wildly blown out of proportion by the media. Elio's original script never had a queer allegory or subplot like people are saying. Here is what
And yet somehow he's still crawling with gay fan art. I'm not trying to downplay it, guys. Yet somehow, even though it was a complete myth, like, there is so much queer fan art of the character. It's honestly a little baffling.
what really
Like, it's all built on a lie.
happened, according to insider sources and the mouths of several people that I personally talked
Don't you mean the bean mouths? Okay, I'm pushing it.
to who worked on the development of Elio. After serving as a co-director on Coco, Adrian Molina started developing a film to be his first solo directorial feature based off of his childhood growing up on a military base and feeling alienated, and then finding the place where he felt he belonged when he attended Cal Arts. And the film was officially announced in 2022. The original version of the film wasn't as comedic and was more emotional, sort of similar to Coco. Originally, Elio was bullied a lot more, he was much more ingoing and sensitive, and he had a huge passion for environmentalism and fashion, including a scene where he makes clothes out of things that he finds in the trash, which you sort of see most of in the final film with his homemade capes. But the really important thing to know here is that Elio was never explicitly written to be queer or queer-coded, because, this is key, he is a child, and his sexuality
thank you.
is not
Thank you.
important to the story.
Thank
There was
you.
emphasis on Elio feeling a sense of otherness.
Like I'm telling you, man,
on a lot during development.
I sincerely wish the internet actually grasped that lesson, because it is legitimately problematic.
So many of the executives at Pixar sort of interpreted this as being queer coding, particularly because Elio was a lot softer and is partially based off of Adrian, who himself is openly gay. But according to the people I talked to, the queer elements that people keep claiming were in the original film were simply interpretations by people who worked at Pixar.
Like, that's the thing, guys. Just because a director or an author is gay, it doesn't mean they're gonna implement that into their protagonist in any capacity. Like the original author of Wicked, the book, not the not the Broadway musical, is gay from what I know. And yet somehow just because of that, people are interpret Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo as a lesbian couple. Like it's honestly, I think it's so overblown to where I think it's legitimately annoying, but that's just me.
but weren't super involved in the development. But it was never in the forefront or explicit. Elio's main personality was that of a little boy. There's not a coming out scene or a queer motif like so many people claim there was. An important thing to understand, as was explained to me, is that not every single person who worked on or observed the production of Elio knew the whole story. Like many of the people who spoke to the press maybe saw a screening of it and gave feedback once, and they just interpreted LGBT themes. And for what it's worth, you can still easily interpret queer themes in the final film. I've seen many people compare Glorden's moment in the climax as a sort of coming out to his father. So like
Okay, that's definitely a stretch. That is definitely a
the
stretch.
themes are there if you look for them. I personally just saw that scene as feeding into the theme of having a better and closer understanding with your family members.
Exactly.
But that's what goes
You really don't have to make of it what you will, guys, but you really don't have to misinterpret that as some sort of. You really don't have to put sexuality on the table. Let me put it that way.
storytelling does. It presents a story that different people from different walks of life can interpret in multiple ways that is personal to them, and both interpretations are equally valid. Now, as to why the film underwent massive changes, contrary to popular belief, it was not because Disney was being explicitly homophobic or fired Adrian Molina. Multiple sources say that there was
Wait, did they?
a test screening of a cut of the film in 2023 in Arizona. And while the response was mostly positive, when the participants were asked if they would pay money to see the film, not a single person raised their hand. It was also around this time that Adrian screened a cut of the film to Pixar executives, and while reports of how that went are kind of contradictory, most people say that Adrian kind of walked away from that very discouraged.
You kind of do feel a little bad for the guy, assuming his intentions were in the right
Now, these
place.
two events are what led Pixar to
But you know what? Let's listen to everything before I talk more.
A year in order to change the story to ensure Elio's success. Keep in mind, at this point, they had already dropped a trailer and promotional posters, and a good chunk of the animation was already done. So they
Yeah, honestly, it's had before it dropped last year. It had teasers for since like what 2002, 2023. Like even before Inside Out 2 dropped, and that was like 3 years ago.
brought in Domi Shi, who had just finished work directing Turning Red, to co-direct with Adrian. And
Oh boy, yeah, okay. If you get the director of Turning Red, yeah, something's bound to go wrong, and it kind of did.
it was shortly after this, sometime in 2024, that Adrian could see that the film was no longer the story that he wanted to tell, and he willingly and on his own terms stepped down from the production and then went on to work on the newly greenlit Coco 2.
Honestly, guys, the first Coco, even I say this as a native Mexican, the first Coco, I'd say it's representation done right. And the story wrapped up spectacularly. I don't know what the heck they're going to do for the sequel, but I kind of hate the idea that the sequel was even greenlit.
At that point, Madeline Sharafian, who was the head storyboard artist on Elio, was promoted to be a co-director with Domi. And a really important detail that was emphasized to me is that Adrian was entirely supportive of Domi and Maddie. He understood the film was no longer his, and he gave his full blessing on them taking over the production and making it into the best film that they could. Now,
Doesn't seem like it would have turned out any better, but I guess this film was just inherently doomed.
if you watch
one way
the
or
original
another.
2023 trailer, you'll see just how different the story originally was. And one insider in particular emphasized to me that practically everything about the film was changed. The tone, the dialogue, the character motivations, even the central message, the cut that was screened, and the final film are
I'd like to assume that in the rough drafts, Elliot was a lot less quirky than what we got. Because honestly, I'm just really sick of that kind of. You know, forget bean mouths. You know what I'm really sick of is just quirky protagonists that are just too quirky for their own good. I am just so sick of it. It was done well with Mabel Pines, and arguably Molly McGee, but every character after that, and even especially as far as Disney is concerned, I've really grown to hate it.
completely different film. But it's also key to know that this kind of story transformation happens with literally every animated film. The deleted scenes for Luca kind of show how shockingly different the original concept was. And then even going back to Monsters, Inc., the test footage shows totally different designs
Wow.
and personalities of the
That I did not know. And something about I don't know what it is about Green Randall, but he looks kind of cursed. And is that Ross in the background? It's kind of crazy.
Practically every production at Pixar has
I'm always watching, Wazowski. Always watching.
as these somewhat contentious production issues. The only thing that makes Elio different was how far into production they were when they overhauled the story. So hundreds of employees poured years of their life into this first cut of the film that they were in love with, only to have it all undone. And then
Yikes.
many of them were laid off shortly thereafter because of Disney's mandated downside.
Oh
so
my-
most of the negative rumors and
Okay, I kind of feel bad for this film now.
exposés on Elio came from these disgruntled ex-employees who were all too willing to vent their frustrations to the press, and I honestly don't even blame them. But
Wait, what the heck is this deleted scene?
I dislike the Hollywood Reporter article that everyone points to is because they left out so much
Yeah, I thought Molly was really cute.
of the context that I was talking
As
about,
well.
that they took the little bits of information they had and twisted it into this narrative about how Disney is cruel and homophobic, which obviously is going to get more clicks.
Yeah, but both the media and every rando on Twitter you can think of, the worst of the worst, you can just tell they would exacerbate these kinds of circumstances. So, okay, I can see why I was under the wrong impression, if nothing else.
Especially during Pride Month. In the article,
Oh my God, that's true. This did come out in June. Yeah. Dare I say it? No, I'm not gonna say it.
itself is kind of hilarious when you read it because they'll be like, one person said this dramatic thing happened, but also several other people said that didn't happen. Like, they're still presenting all the information, but they're so very clearly spinning it. One example is how they just ran with the story about how America Ferrera, who was originally the voice of Olga, supposedly left the production after Adrian stepped down because she was upset that there was no longer a Latino director, even though tons of
That's your criteria, Morra? Hey, stuff. I'm telling you, man, some people are just shallow. What, my Latino isn't director anymore? I'm out. And I say this as a fellow Latino, by the way.
other sources from like a year prior said it was because when they delayed the film and had to re-record a lot of it, America Ferrera was busy with other commitments and was unable to do it for scheduling conflict. And so they brought in Zoe Saldana to play Olga. But all of the super dramatic and incriminating parts of the article are obviously all floated to the top in the headline and the byline, and not everyone reads the whole thing. Anyway, I know this video is getting long. The point I'm trying to make is that while the production issues on Elio were emotional and unfortunate, particularly for Adrian Molina, I personally don't think that affects the quality of the final film, nor do I think it's the reason that the
Yeah, I guess it would have been equally mediocre, like I've said.
film flopped. Would the original version of the film been just as good? Maybe, but I can't say. I've never
We'll never really know for sure, unless it gets leaked online, which it might in a couple of years. It usually always does, but we'll just have to wait and see.
seen it. I still think the film that we got is fantastic, and if people watched it for what it is and not what it could have been, you would still really enjoy it. And Disney
Yeah, Lonely. Would I say it ended well enough? Like, I don't know. Okay, I'm not going to talk about it because spoilers if y'all care about that, but I'd say the conclusion was interesting enough. But yeah, it definitely felt rushed. And I'm not surprised. It did get cut short.
majorly dropped the ball on marketing and promoting,
Making a mountain out of a
because they
molehill?
had
Exactly.
another cash cow to milk. The narratives that the media and people on social media were spreading about Elio's production make for great headlines and sound bites, but it doesn't tell the whole story.
And it didn't stop Twitter artists from drawing him kissing boys and whatnot. I'll tell you that much.
Which is why I wanted to make this video telling what I knew.
And don't even get me started on Luca in that regard, guys. Even though Luca strictly leaves with Julia at the end of the movie, people still... You know what? I'm not going to get into it just because people are going to get the wrong idea.
Stuff of primary sources. If you made it this far, thank you for wanting to understand the truth, and I really hope
Like, it's so easy to appreciate films like Luca and Elio, or more so Luca, when you just get the internet's brain poisoning out of your head. When you disassociate with the internet's brain poisoning.
that this
But you know what? This was helpful. You know what? I'm gonna give it a like. I'm gonna give it a like. Sometimes I forget to drop the like, but you know what? When it's legitimately helpful or I had a lot of fun reacting to it, especially on stream, it deserves a like. So I'm gonna leave it at that, and now hopefully get to what I originally came for. Assuming my capture card decides to not screw me over. Where the heck is it? Are we working now? Thank you. Molly McGee for me was just the Owl House and Amphibia, but without the... Okay, K-Dot, as soon as I was reading your comment, you deleted it. Okay, it's still on the layout. Without the kid goes to another dimension trope? I don't know. I feel like it's not fair to compare the Ghost and Molly McGee to the Owl House and Amphibia, especially not the Owl House. Look, because I got a handful of problems with that. You're welcome, Icy. Thank you, Boo. Thank you. The Sandy Cheeks movie and the... Okay, to be fair, though, Swamp, that got leaked online. Sandy Cheeks movie got leaked online before it even dropped on Netflix. Like here, though, like maybe it's a matter of time before The Vault people like the executives at Pixar or whatnot let their guard down a little less now that the movie has definitely run its course. But anyways, let's. There you go. And once again, yes, Tails, the Joy-Cons are. I got the Joy-Cons underneath the table. Okay, I will say this though, guys. Wait, where's the Mudkip? Where the heck is the Mudkip? Hold on, hold on. I knew something was missing. There you go. Okay. Okay, I will say this though, guys. I know I picked the Rosalina head out of bias, but something about seeing her severed head as my profile icon, like, I don't know, it just doesn't sit right with me. I kind of want to change it, but you know what? I'm a little undecided. Yeah, Tails, exactly. It's the reason the only gay characters in the Loud House that don't bother me are the McBrides. Just because they're more, they are a little stereotypical, but for the most part, they're treated like regular characters. That's all you gotta do. Wait, what am I doing? Why am I walking around the ship feeding Lumas? I can just go to the helm. I tried, Tails. I try. Same for the Plankton movie. It got leaked before it was released on... Really? The Plankton one too? My goodness. I'm telling you, man, nothing is sacred. Where did that term even come from, now that I think about it? Is nothing sacred? I get the feeling it's Shakespeare, but you know what? Hopefully an internet search will probably answer my question. Doth nothing sacred? Like, I don't know. It's just something that comes out of Shakespeare. A rose by any other name would smell as sweet. What light through yonder poser breaks? Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna stop. Alright, guys. This is that part of the stream where I can just sit back and relax and not be too distracted. So if you got something to say and you want me to hear it, this is probably the... Oh my gosh, wait, Shadow Clones. And they're dead. Okay. Okay, just like that. Okay, usually they last a lot longer than that, but alright. I'm sorry, not Shadow Clones, Cosmic Clones is what they're called, I think. Wait, am I supposed to be able to reach this? Hold on, I think I can. 'Cause I believe we can, and I can. Please tell me somebody knows what that song is from. It sounds a little generic, but it's from a very specific Disney show that I'm a big fan of. Alright, sure. Like, yeah, I don't even know how they do it, K-Dot. Like, I'm sorry, not K-Dot, Swamp. I don't know how they managed to get these leaks in so easily. Like, it feels like it's so easy. Like, what happens? Is it like in cartoons where someone disguises himself as a janitor and they just... Oh gosh, okay, I'm way too distracted to pull that off. Yeah, Swamp, it is from Phineas and Ferb. From arguably the best episode in the whole series, mind you. Which is a crazy thing to say, because it's a 1 hour special. Yeah, Boo, it's from Somewhere Belongs to You. Goated, by the way. Goated. I would say... I don't want to be too much of a conformist, but would I say it's my favorite episode? It's up there. Maybe not, I've never really thought about it, but it's a really good episode. Have I seen the Nickelodeon's random cartoons in 2009? And which cartoon you would choose besides Adventure Time or Fanboy? Not really. K-Dot. Wait, why even all that just for 1 coin? Okay, sure game, sure. Wait, can I long jump on this? Apparently I can't. Yeah, exactly. Clay Aiken and Shaka Khan. 2 artists that I had no idea who they were until that point. Like, seriously, guys, my only knowledge of Clay Aiken before that point was just Stewie referencing him once in Family Guy. Like, y'all remember that episode where Peter loses his memory and because they were playing Family Feud? Lois was actually giving actual answers while holding Stewie, and Stewie was like, just saying random crap. You know, let me just show the clip. Just to show you guys exactly what I'm referring to. Let me see if I can find it. Like, I don't know what it is about this one moment, but it just lives in my head rent-free, because as a kid, I thought it was really funny. Okay, not really a kid. A young teenager. Let's see.
Okay, Peter.
Nope. Okay, it's part of... There you go.
Okay, Lois, 15 seconds on the clock. Name something you sit in.
A chair.
My own feces. Name a popular
I don't know what it is about Stewie here, but it just really got me laughing as a kid.
fruit.
Orange.
Clay Aiken. Something in your closet.
Literally, that was the extent of my knowledge on Clay Aiken before I watched Summer Belongs to You.
Orange.
Clay Aiken. Something in your closet.
Shoes.
Scary monsters. Your favorite holiday.
Christmas.
9/11. Something you do on the weekend.
Why am I laughing at that? Oh my gosh, I'm 20. I am well into my 20s. Why am I laughing? Why am I laughing at the thought of somebody saying that 9/11 is their favorite holiday? What is with me, man?
Go to church.
Black guys.
That's it. That's all I wanted to show. I don't know. I just wanted to satiate the curiosity that anyone that might have had it. But alright. Do I think I will ever get a P.O. box? Unlikely, Tails. I'd rather not dox myself. Let me put it that way. I'd rather not dox myself. Like, I do have a P.O. box. I do have a post office box. It is far enough away from where I live, but even then, I don't want to narrow it down for anyone. Tourist stores are loaded with them? Oh my gosh, Tails, that is very tempting. But also very risky. Bro, I love the fact that these little drill enemies... I love the fact that their eyes pop out when you KO them. Like, look closely. You know what? Let me take a screenshot if I can. Ow. Oops, I got distracted. I was looking at chat. My bad. Do I think the Loud House would have done a better job at doing a Christmas family bonding movie? That's what I wanted a year before Naughty or Nice came out. Like, honestly, I feel like the Loud House kind of already did well enough with Christmas specials. I don't know why they insisted on more. Let alone a whole movie. Let alone the idea being the basis for a movie. Like, I don't know. I'm not entirely sure what the Loud House should be doing nowadays, but it's definitely not Christmas movies. I'll say that much. Stewie Griffin extended my horizon, more or less. Like, I never thought I could say that so unironically, but yeah. Thanks, Stewie Griffin. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I have no idea what I'm doing here. But it's working. Like, on one hand, Tails, I appreciate the gesture, but on the other hand, I mean, I can always just cough up $8 on Disney Plus and I'll be able to watch whatever I want to watch. Even if it does violate my conscience a little bit. Just because nowadays I really don't want to give Disney my money if it can be helped. Yeah, Pixel. Like, I've more or less talked about what it could do to wrap things up, but... Oh my gosh, this franchise has been on fire for how long now? I mean, Boo, you are pretty much familiar with any artist that dropped from the 90s and before then. Because I know you're a fan of a lot of vintage music. Wait, where's the power star? I wasn't paying attention. Okay, it should be near here. I hear it. There you go. That was a little anticlimactic. In some ways, Tails, but... As much as I love both games, I will say this. Galaxy 2 just... It basically feels like a DLC expansion of Galaxy 1. Like, it definitely introduces a lot of unique elements, but not to where it feels like a completely separate game. I mean, to be fair, they dropped on the same console, but still. I don't know, Kata. Just the premise alone makes no sense. Like, any of the other Loud Sisters would have definitely made the naughty list before Lincoln, especially when you take his character development into account already. Especially the one from the, come to think of it, even from the previous movie. From freaking No Time to Spy. Bro was living to spend the rest of his life in space just so his family could survive. Because it was ultimately his fault. Like, I don't know what the criteria is for the morality and whatnot, but I'm telling you, man, sometimes it feels like these writers never bother paying attention to their own source material. I want a Lubba beanbag. Okay, I will say this. A Lubba beanbag, it feels like it would make for a really nice pillow. Just because Lubba is chunky. I want to say chunky, but at the same time, it feels a little disrespectful. I mean, it's a Luma it's a glorified Luma for crying out loud. I think he would take it as a compliment. Oh, hello, Captain Toad. Yeah, probably, Tails. Probably. Probably would have gotten its own equivalent of Battle for Bikini Bottom. Like, I don't know. All I'm saying is if I ever concerned myself with Nick's All-Star Brawl, I probably would have been a Lincoln main, if nothing else. Or maybe a Lucy main. Or maybe whatever other sister they would have included. If that franchise lasted, which it really hasn't. I remember a couple months ago, apparently, there was like a false leak, a false rumor of Nick All-Star Brawl 3 dropping, and take a guess as to what character they went with from the Loud House franchise to represent for another rep. Take one guess, guys. It's not a Loud Sister, by the way. Like, that's how you knew the leak was fake. Just from this one character choice alone, I was like, yeah, this leak is fake. Yeah, Lumas are goated. Lumas are like S-tier NPCs in terms of in really any medium. Sam, okay, swap. No, it's not that bad. It's not that bad, bro. It's not that bad. It's not that bad, bro. Let's not be too crazy about it. Strolling Stu? Who the heck is Strolling Stu? Hold on, Pixel. I gotta look this up. I feel like I should know this, but I don't. Off the top of my head. Wait. That is such an ugly name for such a cute character. Hold on. I've always thought these little guys were kind of cute, but Stu? Of all the cute names you could, of all the names you could have come up with for this cute enemy, and you went with Stu? Because I don't know, guys. When I think Stu, I immediately think of Stu Pickles. I don't know. Maybe it's just my own. Maybe it sounds like a me problem, but I don't know. He is the friend-shaped Luma. All the Lumas are friend-shaped. I don't think it's just Lubba there. Ow. Liam. I want to say you're getting warm. No, okay. You know what? Let me never. No, it's not Liam. I'll leave it at that. You know, I feel like nobody's gonna guess it. They went with Ronnie Ann. Like, I get it, she's the lead of a spin-off, but at this point in time, her spin-off got canceled 4 years ago. So, if you wanted me to believe that this leak is real, not the best character you should have gone with. I'll tell you that much. And I really don't think that Nickelodeon's video games are fixated on representation. Ow. Of all things. Yeah, Lumas are... I'm telling you, man. Guys... Okay, Tails, if I ever open a P.O. box and someone mails me a Luma plushie, I'm gonna mod... whoever that is, I'm gonna mod them in chat. Cause I don't know, man. I love Lumas. Okay, hold on. There you go. Like, Lumas are just babies. Lumas are babies. Lumas are good babies. Like, if I have a kid, I'm gonna name him... No, I'm not gonna name him Luma. No. If I have a daughter, I might name her Rosalina, but naming it Luma? No, that is pushing it, man. Okay, that's a good one, Aura. That's a good guess, Aura, but it wasn't it. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if they went with Myrtle. Okay, I will say this though, Tails. I know people look back on it fondly, but Hannah Montana is one of those shows where I'm like, why do people like this? Other than maybe the music? Like, I don't know. It's that one live action Disney show where I'm like, why do people like this? Like, Wizards of Waverly Place, I get it. Good Luck Charlie, I get it too. But Hannah Montana, like, I don't know. The comedy, even as a kid, I just thought it wasn't funny. Yeah, K-Dot, tell that to the executives, because they would definitely, they would disagree with you. I wouldn't, but they would. For one reason or another. Okay, I gotta be on my toes. Holy crap. I almost died there. Okay, I will say though, if, say, Flip's Food and Fuel was a stage, I kind of be down for that, with Flip as a stage hazard. Yeah, that's So Raven too. Like, some of the humor can be cringe, but Hannah Montana is just one of the... It's the one Disney show where I'm like, why do people like this? None of this is funny. Like, yeah, That's So Raven was a little exaggerative, but nowhere to that extreme, I would say. And honestly, That's So Raven, it could get serious every now and again. Like that whole episode where Raven sees through a vision that the reason she didn't get hired is because the employer was secretly a racist. Like, okay, a little too on the nose, but to be fair, it was like the early 2000s. Like, we weren't fed up with racism allegories and stories overall. Yeah, nowadays, people look back on Good Luck Charlie because the mom was pretty. But that's the one Disney show that was a little after my time, so I don't hold any fond memories of it to say. A little bit, Aura. Tiny bit. Okay, I have no means of tracking down this hidden star, so you know what? I'm just gonna save this for later. Yeah, Sweet Like is... All those live-action shows from, like, the 2000s or the early 2010s. A lot of them were actually not bad. If nothing else, the theme song was catchy. Zack and Cody, though, Brenda's song is London? Still gets a laugh out of me, especially with her dynamic with Mosby. Like that one moment where she's learning how to drive and she calls it the lever the Prindle. Like, you know, let me just show you guys. Let me just show you guys exactly what I'm referring to, because this scene still gets a good laugh out of me. Hold on. London Tipton driving lesson. Okay, thank you, YouTube, for just helping me with the making it easier for me.
First things first. Have you adjusted your mirrors?
All three of them. And I can see myself perfectly.
They're not for vanity. Your rear view mirrors are for seeing the view to your rear.
Not.
Not your behind
See?
behind you.
But I won't be able to see myself having fun.
But driving a motor vehicle is not fun. It's serious business.
Like, Mosby is that character that he has to be reminded that he's in a kid's show. Like, he is just the right amount of serious to wear a contrast with the show's tone. And you know what? I love it.
Have you buckled your seatbelt?
Oh yeah, I know, Boo. I know. Like, Brenda's song, and also she's married to Immaculate Culkin. Like, she's when it comes to her career repertoire and her personal life, like, she has genuinely surprised me. And I mean that in a good way.
I was going to, but this
Like, I love her work, and whatever she's got going on IRL, like, respect.
outfit just wrinkles so easily. So I thought,
Just do it.
pull my out.
It's the law.
It's the law.
Okay.
Okay, I'm not gonna play this whole clip, guys, because it might get copyrighted, so I'm gonna skip a little bit.
Now, are you familiar? The what?
You mean the Prindle?
The what?
What?
The Prindle.
Are you referring to the shift lever that says PRNDL?
The shift.
I'm not a child, Mosby. I know how to spell Prindle.
It is not something you spell. It is a gear shift. The letters stand for park, reverse, neutral, drive, and loud.
Bro, why you gotta hold it against her like that? She just came up with a cute acronym. It's harmless, bro. Like, I get it. Mosby's a bit of a grouch, but still.
sorry. Why don't we just relax? We'll
But turn on the radio. Would you like am or fum? Iconic, bro. Just iconic.
Making you nervous wreck.
I'm trying to keep us from having a wreck.
We're not even moving.
Like, bro, calm down a little. Calm down. All right, I'll leave it at that because, like I said, copyright. Copyright is a jerk. I like how Sweet Life on Deck mentioned that Star Trek Zulu is a descendant of. Wait, really? Okay, that does go kind of hard. That is a little crazy. Don't you need like the rights to be able to make that kind of reference or establish canon? I don't know. Okay, to be fair though, Swamp, if it's not that recognizable, then maybe it deserves to be forgotten. I don't know. Just a conjecture. Okay, I will say this though, I do remember this music vividly. Although to be fair, I think it's kind of owed to Bowser Jr.'s reveal in Smash Bros. The trailer reveal in Smash Bros. Back in 2014. That's the one thing that bothers me about Smash Wii U's publicity back in the day. It's really just owed to the problems of just also having a 3DS version. Cause in the month between the release of Smash 3DS and Smash Wii U, like people found out, hey, Bowser Jr. is a secret character. Hey, Duck Hunt's a secret character, but they still got full-blown trailers with CG animation and whatnot. Like, I don't know. It just feels like a waste. Like, it feels like a waste. Like, the biggest selling point in a reveal trailer is the fact that we don't know who the character is. So why even bother? Like, I don't know. Like, even though people already knew about Bowser Jr. and Duck Hunt, they still got promotional trailers. Not really promotional trailers, reveal trailers, like a whole month later. And I really don't understand why. It just feels like a waste of resources. Her last big break was Amphibia, a Disney retelling of Inuyasha's sequel, really? Never knew it was based off, or at least inspired by something else, Aura. Even then though, I still enjoyed Amphibia for what it was, mostly. It's got a couple plot elements that definitely do bother me, but overall, I didn't hate it, especially the messaging in the finale. What would be the most hype Smash trailer? Okay, Pixel, go to my channel, and I think I already got it. If you really scroll into the depths of my channel, you'll know what I'm talking about. Like, y'all have no idea how ecstatic I was when we got Sora in Smash. I guess if we got Roxas as an Echo Fighter, I'd be down for that. Bro's getting clapped. I'm already halfway done with the fight. 30 seconds. It's played for a gag with London meeting him and immediately very much loving him. Okay, you know what? That sounds like London. I like it, Aura. I like it. Steady. Ow. I took a hit, but I'm living. And I can't even see the health bar. At least on the layout. Alright. Stay away from the ball. Stay away from it for now. Wait for it. There you go. Wait, was that it? Really? Okay, is it just me or was that a lot harder when I was a kid? Then again, what wasn't? Mega Man and Cloud? Okay, for people who were fans of Mega Man, I get it. And Cloud? Yeah. It definitely came out of left field, especially in the Wii U era where third-party guests were a lot less common. So how's Bowser Jr. born? I don't know, K-Dot. I'm guessing Bowser is capable of asexual reproduction? I don't know. Because we've never seen his mother. So I'm guessing Koopas or whatever variant Bowser and Bowser Jr. are... I don't know. It's best not to think about it. The Koopalings are confirmed to be not Bowser's biological kids. Yeah, I knew they were adopted. Bowser Jr. is the only actual son. Yeah, Like, I don't know. Bowser, like, if nothing else, he's a good daddy. He's a good dad. Like, I don't know. Like, with all the resources he's got, and you can just tell he cares about his kids more or less. Like, they're just he's just, at least as far as the cartoony standards of Mario are concerned. Like, I'm not really gonna look into the nitty-gritty of it, but in the Mario universe, yeah, he's a good dad. Like, he bonds with the kids, he lends them his resources, if nothing else. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm making too much of it, but still. Or who the heck is Detective Cheeks? Should I know who that is? You know what? I'm gonna look it up, even though I might regret it. Yeah, I have no idea who that is. Yeah, Google is not helping there either. Claudia Koopa? Who the heck is... What? Oh, Claudia, spelled with a W. Claudia Koopa. From the cartoon? I'm not sure how I feel about this. Like, I didn't expect Bowser Jr.'s mother to be pretty, but... I'm not sure how I feel about this design. You know what? I'd rather not think about it. Again, I'd rather not think about it too hard. Yeah, Pixel, like, the instrumental version of Simple and Clean, it was already... It's climactic enough in any circumstance, and it was perfect to wrap things up with Smash. Like, seriously, guys, listen to it in your own time. The instrumental version of Simple and Clean, still goated. Like, I'm not even kidding. That whole shot of Sora's handshake with Mario, that was like my Twitter banner for like several months after the fact. Okay, K-Dot, people say that, but to be honest, there's a certain criteria when it comes to popularity in order to be included in Smash. Or not necessarily popularity. Like, you really just either gotta be really popular or just have... Sakurai needs to have a soft spot for you. I'd say that's the reason we have so many Fire Emblem characters. As much as people might complain about it. Oh, you mean Emma. Oh, you meant Emma. Okay, to be honest, Lonely, it feels like we really haven't done every possible combination when it comes to episodes revolving on two Loud sisters, or dynamics between them. Okay, is it just me, or why does this music keep reminding me of the Woody's Roundup theme from Toy Story 2? I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the violin, but it just gives that vibe. Know what I mean? That whole classic Western vibe. Just listen to it. It gives that whole Woody's Roundup. Come on, it's time to play. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen in the future with Smash. All I know is, low-key, I don't want another Smash game, because Ultimate just feels extensive as is. It's not just me, right? Like, yeah, I get it. We got a Switch 2, we got a new console. Quid pro quo to have a Smash game, but I don't know, man. Okay, it's going a little too fast for my comfort. Okay, I get some one-ups. I don't hate that. More star bits. Okay, there you go. Well, yeah, I know you don't, Boo, but I'm also asking the rest of chat. Wait, am I meant to... Okay, no. Hey guys. What's all the buzz about? Okay, you know what? I'm sorry. I had to cram in the pun. I don't know. It just felt too good to pass up. Yeah, that too, Pixel. Wait, how many do you want? Okay, either I missed something, or how the heck am I supposed to get 70 coins for this guy before this point? Yeah, no. No. Just no. You know what? If there's one type of Luma I definitely had to dislike, it'd probably be the Hungry Lumas, because sometimes these are some greedy bozos. Like, yeah, honestly, just Sakurai could probably retire in peace, especially after Kirby Air Riders, because yeah, that game is pretty good from what I've seen. I do want to play it for myself at some point. Okay, it's something, but it's definitely still not enough for the Luma. Or maybe here? Hold on. Okay, that's what I missed. Steady. Wait, is that even enough? It is not. I'm like, what, 2 coins short? Oh gosh. Master Chief, like, if they had to include some sort of iconic shooter character, yeah, it was probably either Master Chief or Doom Guy. Is that even what he's called? Like, everyone calls him Doom Guy, but I don't think... I'm sure he has an actual name, but everyone just calls him Doom Guy. Like, I don't know, when it came to Ultimate, like, before Ultimate, like, yeah, I was thinking to myself, yeah, Sora's probably not gonna happen. Like, at the time, third-party characters just felt too far in between, but then we kept getting third-party after third-party with the Ultimate DLC, and I was like, okay, you know what, maybe Sora does have a chance now. And then it turns out, Sora was the most requested character ever. And I was like, wow, okay, I guess it's not just me. Though I will say, though, like, I don't know what it is about Sephiroth in particular, never mind the fact that he's also a very iconic villain. Like, when he got shown in Smash, when he got revealed in Smash, especially at the Game Awards of all places, like, yeah, that was hype. Like, if it weren't for Sora, it would be my favorite reveal out of all of them. Just One-Winged Angel playing in the background, him slicing Galeem in half. Like, cinematically, it was a lot of fun. Doom Guy or Doom Slayer? Okay, one or the other. Jeez, these guys are out for blood. Okay, should I be expecting a boss of some kind? You know what? I'd rather save the star bits. Even though I only have 2 health left. Wait, what do you mean swamp? Like in the Galaxy movie? Or just in general? Name the show with the most ugly art style? Off the top of my head, Rick and Morty. Like, I don't know. Like, it's more or less a comedic show, but just given the type of plot elements it tackles sometimes, like, the show in general is just ugly, and those ideas, they definitely add to my discontent with it. Especially an episode that I conveniently watched yesterday. I don't know what it's called, but it was about Morty's... Oh my gosh. Okay, viewer discretion is advised. It was about Morty's sperm turning into, like, these murderous monsters, and then the only way to stop him was to give them a giant egg? Like, what are we... Is this what the show normally goes with? Is this how the show normally runs? Because that's when I thought to myself, yeah, this show is so ugly, man. Not just in terms of narrative, but also in terms of plot elements. Like, I don't know, man. Just Rick and Morty. Like, I get it. Like, maybe it's not fair for me to judge the show just based off of one episode, but it definitely left a really sour taste in my mouth. Chief. Every time Luna Lubba just says that, it's just, I love it, man. The way he says, Chi. Oh yeah, problem solved. Like, yeah, I don't know a lot about it, but there's a reason it got canned so quickly. Pixel, I get it. Like, just from the promos alone that I remember, I was like, yeah, this show is so ugly. And of course, just the one little bit. Of course. You know what? More Starbus doesn't hurt. I'm gonna be honest, guys. The reason I don't want to go to the helm yet is just because I want to keep looking at chat. I don't know, Swamp. It's one of those circumstances where... Wait, what are you doing? Did I misclick, or did he meant to take me here? You know what? I don't want to think about it. Why is Mario and Luigi versus Sephiroth a thing to begin with? I really don't know, Swamp. I guess the internet was just feeling frisky and people just went along with it, and I don't hate it. I thought it was a fun trend. Went through seizures of the... Wait. Oh, okay. Oh, Kano, you're talking about because... okay. I was about to say, like, I don't know. Out of context, that line made me a little uncomfortable. Newer seasons have been leading into incest jokes lately. Oh gosh, it's Family Guy all over again, isn't it? Ish. Okay. Take it from someone who played Super Mario World on the GBA. When I first heard this music in Galaxy 2, yeah, the nostalgia definitely kicked in. Like, on one hand, it feels a little lazy for them to be rehashing music, but on the other hand, it's well orchestrated. Got something to say? Climb fast. Oh, right. The fact that the music speeds up when you grab the chili pepper, like I'm telling you, man. This game was just brimming with creativity, even at the time. Even now, rather. To control Dash Yoshi, tilt in the direction... I mean, is that not a given? Also, give me this. Wait, was there something? There's probably a hidden star up on the other end, wasn't there? Oh boy. You know what? If they're ever gonna explore the dynamic between Lincoln and Stella again, I feel like that's too simplistic, Lonely. Okay, bonus stage? Sure, why not? Should I really care? I really don't know. Like, I got enough... You know, when was the... Did I ever get a game over in the Galaxy 1 playthrough? I don't think I did, so why am I fixating over 1-ups? I don't know. You know what? Can't go wrong with more star bits, if nothing else. No, wait, okay. Yeah, Boo, it can be summed up with that one meme. The writer's barely disguised fetish. I don't know why it's such a common practice to implement that, of all things, into adult animation, but it really says a lot. Like, you can learn a lot about one person, guys, just judging from their taste in artistry, if nothing else. You know what? Let's see. Sure, why not? Okay, Pixel, I will say the Super NES was before my time, so I really can't relate. Like, I don't know, I'm a little older than most of you guys, but I'm not that old. What the heck is this? Who are these guys? What are they? I don't know who these guys are, but they are completely new enemies to me. I'm a little surprised they're not playable in Mario Kart World. You know, because they love throwing in all the enemies. All the generic... Not really generic enemies, y'all know what I mean. I love the little sound they're making, by the way. Listen closely. You know, is there any way to kill the background music? Just so you guys can hear it? No, wait, hold on. Okay, never mind. No, this is just for the controls and the camera. I don't know if y'all heard it, but they're doing like a little mumbling sound. I think it's kind of cute. But for reference, Pixel, Super Mario Bros. 3 was on the NES specifically. They're just called frogs? Really? They don't have like a silly name or anything like that? They're just frogs? Hold on, I gotta look these up. Little Blue Frogs Galaxy 2. Kleptoads. These blue frog-like creatures are only encountered in Hightail Falls during the mid... Really? Only here? Hold on. Huh. Apparently they do have a name. And whatnot. You know what? They're kind of cute. I like them. That's just me, though. Oh, right, Pixel. I forgot. World isn't the only one they ported. For some reason, the GBA got like a lot of ports of the original games for some reason. Not that I'm complaining, but still. But we'll leave it at that. Wait, what time is it, by the way? Okay, 4:49. You know what? Maybe we'll go until 5, maybe a little longer. We'll just see. Wait, did I do everything here? I did not. They are bouncy froggy boys. Whatever floats your boat, Boot. Or should I say, whatever floats your boot? Even Hank is looking at me in disappointment. Alright. Mira and Zoe definitely deserve more screen time and presence in the upcoming sequel. Yeah. Like, I know it's getting a sequel in, like, what, 2029? And there's definitely a lot of potential that the first one missed out on. So, yeah. A little too close to the mic there? My bad. Wait, that's your biggest takeaway on... Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah. I deserve that. It was a really stupid joke anyways. Alright, let's do it right this time. I'm bad at this game. I'm bad at this game. Okay, I'm alive. I'm alive. I'm alive. Okay, I gotta be okay, this better be worth the trouble. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, Yoshi. What's this guy doing here? All that just for a one-up? Okay, I see how it is. Kind of hoping for like a hidden star or whatever, but maybe that's just wishful thinking. Favorite Loud House location? I guess Gus's Games and Grub? I don't know. That's a really specific question. I don't know. I didn't think that was warranted some kind of preference, if I'm being honest. No, I'm just a little surprised that your biggest takeaway, Boot, was, oh, you're too close to the mic, instead of just... Okay, I am not doing that again. I really don't know, K-Dot. Like, there's a handful of issues that collectively brought Nickelodeon's downfall. Fanboy and Chum Chum was definitely one of them. Oh, crap. I'm so sorry, Yoshi. Steady. Okay, I need to not get too distracted. There you go. Steady. Okay, I cannot look at chat right now because this requires my utmost concentration. And I missed a comment coin. And the camera is not going to tell me where I can land safely. Okay, I see how it is. Okay, we're good, we're good, we're good. I think. There we go. Steady. Thank you. Okay, you know what? We can try again, I think. I don't get KO'd here, do I? Okay, 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 okay. There you go. Oh, that was close. Okay, I'm bad at this game. I am really bad at this game. Yoshi, you want to help? Thank you. Okay. Okay, we live in. We live in. Okay, there's the MacGuffin. No, I'm kidding. It's called a Power Star. I don't know why I called it a MacGuffin. There you go. Okay, I nailed it. I mean, knock yourself out, Swamp. The best friend group of all the sisters? Let's see. I'm not even sure Lori has a friend group the more I think about it. I mean, she does, but I don't remember any of their names, so she's out. Luna has her bandmates. Okay. 2 of them are very forgettable, more or less. Except solely in that one episode, like I said in my videos. Y'all already know how I feel about Sam, so not Luna. Lynn? Nah. Margot's cool, but the rest of them, they're kind of meh. Lucy? Nah, the Morticians Club sucks. Lola doesn't really have any. Neither does Lana. I guess Lisa does have Darcy and that other kid. Yeah, I guess Lenny by default, if nobody else. Oh, God. Yeah. Yeah, I do feel a little bad for Yoshi there, Swamp. Funnily enough, the Sperm episode has a follow-up in Voltron episode where the giant baby named Naruto is what defeats the... What did I just read? What the frick did I just read? Like, yeah, for how much screen time they get, but yeah, they are woefully forgettable. Except for maybe Haiku, but that's because just she's had interactions with the rest of the cast outside of Morticians Club. Like being the only other member that joined Lucy in the writing club. She was one of the Lincoln's dates at the dance in season 1. I wish they would have worked with her more, other than just, oh, just another run-of-the-mill goth. Alright. Okay, I think we're done here. Yep. We got a hidden star here, but I'm not gonna go out. I really don't want to go through the trouble of searching for it. At least for now. Rock and Rolo Dillo. They see me rolling. They hate it. Okay, no, that is just... Even in 2026, that meme, it is a little uninspired, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, we'll say this, so this music is catchy. Wait, how do I... Really, dude? While your bro is just pickaxing his heart out, you're just taking a nap? That's not nice. Never gonna be able to break this thing. I can't believe the captain is making me do this. Doesn't seem like it's meant to be just you, dog. Bro, wake up. Oh. Sorry, Green Toad. Wait, do I just KO all the Octoroks? Is that how you do it? Oh, okay. That's how you do it. Wait, can I break this with the... Oh, I can! And that's what... Okay, I guess I had to anyways. You're welcome. Wait, what is... You can change your camera view with R. If you can't change your view... Why is he... wait, hold on. Hold on. Ah, okay. Very clever game. Very clever. Yeah, it is a little tropey, but the idea of a goth learning to make friends, more or less, it's a very reliable trope. Oops. Okay, I am not good at bowling. Maybe it's a good thing I haven't gone bowling since I was a kid. That was, steady. Okay, it's not, it doesn't last until you crash. There's a fixed time to it. Okay. Ow! Oh, really? Really? Bro is trying to break my ankles. Okay. Okay, I'm guessing I have to KO all of them to get the launch star. And I completely fumbled it. Oops. I can't stop myself though, so I gotta be really careful with these barricades. Ow! Okay, I got healed immediately. Yeah, Pixel, if y'all have played the 1,000 Year Door remake, if y'all have actually fought Prince Mush, like, yeah, he is the coolest Toad I've ever seen. Like, I'm not gonna lie, he goes crazy, especially his battle theme. Like, honestly. Like, Prince Mush is definitely the coolest Toad. More so by default, because a lot of them are not that impressive, and that's kind of the point. What you read is an actual synopsis of a later episode. I'm not gonna lie, Aura, I felt like I was reading glorified fanfiction or I was having a fever dream. Although, what's the difference? Hey Patrick, what am I? Stupid? No, I'm Texas. What's the difference? Okay, I don't, no. Oh, okay. Even touching a launch star makes the rock wear off, but I kind of wanted to explore more a little safely. Explore a little more safely. Let me rephrase that. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You would never expect that out of a Toad, Pixel. I wonder if that's what they had in mind. Because keep in mind, guys, the Prince Mush boss, the Prince Mush boss, that was not available in the original Paper Mario, only the remake that we got like a year ago. 2 years ago, I think. Don't quote me on that. So I really do have to wonder if they ever intended for him to be an actual boss later down the line, or ever. Not that we ever got like a sequel to 1,000 Year Door, but when I saw the remake, yeah, that was the first thing I was expecting. And it was definitely worth the 20-year wait, because that boss fight was cracked. Ow. Okay, I'm getting way too distracted by gushing. I mean, what else is there to criticize? What else is there to put on a tier list, K-Dot? I already ranked all the Loud Sisters, I already ranked every season, I already ranked all the side characters. Like, I don't know. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna see you charge. You know what? Yeah, give me a life shroom. The James Gunn Batman reboot has a writer. It's the same lady who wrote... Oh boy. Birds of Prey, it had its issues, but The Flash? Oh gosh. Yeah, no, The Flash was bad, guys. And it's not just because of the Ezra Miller controversies. The Flash was just terrible. The effects were terrible, the directing was terrible, the plotline was terrible. I'm telling you, man, the character of Barry Allen definitely deserved better. Okay, I know he's more or less intentionally ugly, but I think this boss is kind of cute, guys. Even though I literally have to rock his butt. I don't know. Even though he's gonna be big and intimidating, I think he's kind of cute. Make it really cute. He'd make it... You know, if I may quote Harley Quinn in Injustice, you'd make a darn cute plushie. What is a plushie? Yeah, you straight up need to learn how to parry. If you never have before, which is perfectly possible in my case, prepare to learn. Prepare to learn, and I love it. I love it. I mean, luckily there's certain badges in that game that actually help with that. Like, it makes it so that action commands are at least easier to proc. And that was really my only saving grace in that fight, but still, though. It's crazy. Like, it straight up has to be frame. It almost has to be frame perfect for you to be able to pull it off, and I kind of respect it. He just really lives up to the name of original champ, if nothing else. Oh, Swamp. I'd kind of be down for that. I'd kind of be down for that. I mean, y'all already know how some of it is gonna go. Mudkip and S. It's not even close. Okay, can I roll into it, or do I actually have to jump? I actually have to jump. You know what? Let's see if I can jump into it with a roll. There you go. But how would it go, though? Okay, y'all already know. Mudkip and Piplup and S. Okay, you know what? Let me rephrase that. Let me rephrase that because I feel like there's a little bit of confusion in terms of my preference for the Piplup line. Piplup alone, if there weren't for Empoleon, I wouldn't care about it. Like, yeah, he's a penguin. Penguins are my favorite animal, and I love it, but if it weren't for Empoleon, I don't think I would have such a high opinion of Piplup. And y'all are, and yeah, I agree with most of the general consensus. Dawn's Piplup in the anime, it definitely screwed up the species' reputation. And I can kind of see why. But I am a little torn. On one hand, I want to disassociate, but on the other, I get it. Okay, nah, Swamp, nah. Like, yeah, I have my gripes with Mega Feraligatr and whatnot. Not just the design alone, but I don't know. I thought Totodile in the anime was really cute, and that definitely adds to my preference towards him. Like, Ash's Totodile, especially in the Heroes movie, like, I was actually a big fan of it. No, nothing Pixel, just the opposite. Empoleon was my favorite Pokemon ever. Wait, am I done here? Okay, apparently. Okay, no, I do not want to do the... What was the bird called? The Fluzzard? Okay, he does look like a DK villain, now that I think about it, Aura. What's the worst thing Sergio did? Host parties in the Mercado every night and pretty much raising all the bills to where the grandparents straight up had to give up their vacation. Like, I don't know, Sergio, he's just, I could go on about how horrible, what a terrible character he is. Like, raising the bills, like that whole incident where he pissed off a ghost or whatever, like, I could go on, man. Oh, look at all the little penguins. I love penguins. Okay, I have no idea where I'm going, but I'm guessing I'm doing something right. I believe I can fly. Okay, I cannot sing that song in good conscience because of everything R. Kelly has done. Even though originally, I only liked the song because of Space Jam and not because of the artist. But it is what it is. Maturity comes at a price, I suppose. Yeah, that was more or less my mentality, Swamp. And also, I'm not good typing, but I just hate the design of Mega Feraligatr. Like, I did not ask for a Jim Henson routine of all things. Literally, all they had to do was make him edgier, and it would have been fine. But no, they went in an interesting route, but not in a good route. Like the whole forming a crocodile head with its arms and head and the whatever you want to call that accessory, I hate it. Like, I don't know, it's just too silly. Not what I would expect out of something literally called Mega Evolution. Matt Reeves' Batman universe is seeing movement again. They recently announced... Wait, Sebastian Stan? Is that who I think it is? Why would they cast the Winter Soldier as Harvey Dent? Okay, I don't know a lot about the character, but that feels... I don't know how I feel about that kind of casting. I mean, to be fair, I forgot what the actor's name was in Dark Knight, but he gave a very compelling Two-Face, if nothing else. But I don't know. Yeah, apparently, but you wouldn't be the first Pixel. Wait, where am I going? Okay, I'm guessing I have to freeze... What's the mission called? Yeah. Okay, I have to freeze the waterfalls. I remember now. Yeah, flip? I'm willing to bet there's gonna be some embezzlement charges in there. Money laundering or embezzlement charges in there. Or fraud. Or scams. There probably is a crime or two in there. In his repertoire, but... I'd rather not think about it too hard. Okay, I have no idea where I'm... Oh, wait, is this where you go? Okay, apparently. Okay, no, hold on. Let me get that comment medal first. It's a good thing it was in plain sight. Okay, is this camera gonna help? Okay, thank you. Sheesh. Yeah, so, you know what? Maybe next week. Maybe next weekend. Or, actually, can I do it tomorrow? Probably. Like, I don't know, soon enough. Like, I would be down, but I don't know, guys. When it comes to my thumbnails for streams, they're either a little generic or they're Loud House related. Otherwise, I feel like they're really not gonna reel in the viewers. Although, maybe I shouldn't concern myself with that too much anymore. Start a Pokemon, but rank every Pokemon in the evolutionary line individually? Oh my gosh, that's gonna be very extensive. I'm kinda down for it, though. Though I will say, though, guys, a lot of the middle stage evolutions, I don't know. I'm really indifferent towards them overall. Most of them. I will say this, though, as much as I love Mudkip and Swampert, I'm not too crazy about Marshtomp. And as much as I love Empoleon, I'm not too crazy about Prinplup either. But yeah, that probably would be how it goes down. Okay, Mario, can you lay off the, I don't know, do you guys know any famous ice skaters? I was gonna say lay off this ice skaters routine, but I don't know any famous ice skaters. Or figure skaters, right, for that matter. Yeah, that's really what it should be about, Swamp. The loyalty. I hated all the new megas, not counting the DLC, because I'm still certain that its base game content repacked. You should know in your soul that Mega Absol at the start of the game was meant to be a Z. Yeah, it was kind of obvious in retrospect. Like, the moment I saw Absol in the hyperspace zone, yeah, I was like, there's a Mega Absol Z, isn't there? Like, there's no way they're gonna make me do... Just from the fact that we have Mega Z, Lucario Z, it's easy to figure it out. It's easy to put 2 and 2 together like that. Okay, sure. Wait, where did he say Fluffy Bluff? Where is that again? Okay, it is here. I know his name is a chimp, but I kind of just want to call him Monkey. Because, you know, monkey memes. Oh, banana. Boot, should I know who that is? Brian Boitono. Okay, I feel like if I look it up, I'm gonna get a good laugh, so let's see. Oh, Boitono. Oh, wait, it's a figure skater. Yeah, lay off the Brian Boitono routine. Okay, you know what? Now I'm saying it now. It's not as funny when I say it this late. Bro, I literally didn't even... Okay, sure, okay. If you can match or top my score, I'll give you a star and some respect. Some respect? Do I not have it already? I mean, you already gave me a power star. Okay, I remember this. 1 paddle paddle, 2 paddle paddle, 3 paddle paddle, 4 paddle paddle, 5 paddle paddle. Oops. Okay, I get points for getting the coins as well. I gotta keep that in mind. I did not know that. Okay, to be fair, South Park started the year I was born, so a lot of the early episodes I definitely missed. They were a little before my time. Then again, I was a kid. I had no business watching South Park, even though one time, I do remember when I was in kindergarten, after watching WWE Friday Night SmackDown, they did air an episode of South Park on the same channel, like about an hour later. And I unapologetically said to my mom, like an idiot, hey, that South Park episode was really funny. Let me put it this way, I got my ass beat. Like, I don't know what kid me was thinking, but I don't know. I guess I was just thinking to myself, haha, funny adult show. Like, I didn't make too much of it at the time. Okay, get the coins, get the freaking coins. Hold on. Okay, I already beat the score. Okay. Wait, so I just wait until the timer runs out? Wait, am I alive? Why did I do that? Why did I do that? What? Okay. In my defense, I'm a little distracted by chat, but at the same time, why would I do that? Why would I just jump off a cliff and literally hope for the best? I think that's all the points I could get. Alright, I guess I'll just screw around. I guess I may as well have gotten that one up, but I can live without it. Yeah, my brain, no thoughts, head empty, chat. That's really all there is to it. He would have been compelling if it didn't cheat. Flips coin, gets results, turns gun to driver, invalidating the flip. Such a betrayal of the character, like him forever. Oh. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, Aura. Scarlett Johansson as Andrea Beaumont? I don't know, that does go kind of hard. That is good casting. I don't know. Just judging from appearance alone, that is good casting, but it should come down to the performance in the grand scheme of things. And I'd rather than not just cast A-list MCU actors or A-list actors in general for all their big characters. Alright. Okay, it's 5:15. One more mission, and then we'll call it. Okay, not that one, though. I'll tell you that much. You know, let's see what the Hungry Luma has to give. Alright, how many do you want? It's at 700, right? Or am I tripping? Okay, it is 700. Okay, it may be because I saw an Instagram reel of someone making IRL Starbit, but I really want to try an IRL Starbit. I think he made them with Jello and honey. Like, I don't know, man. That does go kind of crazy. I guess, Sora. Like, I don't know. I've never really thought about it too hard. Like, in terms of art direction or a good narrative, let me put it this way. Pokemon has rarely won me over. That's up with two characters, and namely En and Lily. But other than that, there really isn't nothing. There's really nothing too engaging. Like, I don't know. I'm not really in it for the storyline, more or less, and I'm not really in it for the narrative. I'm just in it for, funny creatures that fight, cute creatures that fight each other. I guess I am a little shallow in that regard. Oh, I miss this music. Wait, does this mean I gotta use the bee suit again? I think you showed it on Discord. I think you might have shown it already, Lonely, and I think I already saw it. Or at least if I remember correctly. Like, I don't know, guys. Just because... Like, even though I don't say anything, I check my Discord server every day, more or less. Usually because it's not a lot to manage, if nothing else. Like, keep in mind, guys, just because I don't see just because you don't see me do anything, say, or do anything about it, especially on camera, I do look at my Discord server every day. And every forum, mind you. And yeah, we got the B-suit again. Great. Your starter tier list pixel? Okay, this I gotta see. Okay, are these guys basically unkillable, or can I spin attack their bellies? Okay, that answers my question. Either that, or I just timed it poorly. Oh, sorry. Not really shallow, as long as you enjoy it, even if it's not interesting. Okay, okay, fair. Though I will say, though, it says a lot. When two of the most popular characters in the franchise's history are the only ones that they bother giving decent writing. And also my favorites as well. Some of my favorites as well. Because N? Goated. Lily? Goated. At least in the first Sun and Moon. Ultra is another story. Sort of. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, this is a fun visual. With all the flowers sprouting. Steady. Wait, do I need the coins? What are we doing here? Okay, it's just a 1-up, I guess. He has a South Park song dedicated to him? What? Okay, I'm gonna look. Okay, I get the feeling it's copyrighted, so I'll look into it in my own time. Still, though. Like, I know South Park is not afraid of doing celebrity appearances. Like, y'all remember that one old episode where Chef is getting sued and all these celebrities who happen to be friends with him are raising money? Like, what was it? Elton John and Ozzy Osbourne? Like, I don't know. The fact that other celebrities have songs dedicated to them, like, I don't know, it doesn't surprise me too much. Or original songs, rather. Like, that's the thing about South Park. Even though it's ultimately very satirical parody, sometimes they just knock it out of the park when it comes to representing certain people. Or really just the social commentary, if nothing else. I wish that were true nowadays, but back in the day? Wow. Like, I don't know. It was gold, man. It was gold. Yeah, Chef Aid, exactly. That one. Is that what it was called? Yeah. Okay, I really gotta be on my toes here. Holy crap. If I stand on the flowers too long, apparently I get eaten. Yeah. I will say this though, guys. Say what you will about Donald Trump, but you can't deny that South Park is definitely milking the jokes too much. And I'll leave it at that because I do not want to get political about it. One can't say that they make fun of everyone. The credits run out when you don't do it on the regular. When you don't... Yeah. More or less, Aura. More or less. But alright, guys. It is almost 5:30. I'm a little hungry. Like I said, I gotta get to editing, so... How long have I been streaming for? A little more than 3 hours. You know what? That seems fair. Tweek and Craig have more chemistry than Sam and Luna, even though... Yeah, not to mention... How old are they, Tails? You know what? The less I think about it, the better. And like I said, parody. It's not meant to be taken seriously. At least I hope it isn't. But alright, guys. That's gonna be it for me today. Thank you guys so much for sticking around. As always, if your heart so desires, like the stream, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and join the Discord and just keep up with me on the socials and whatnot. I'll be back hopefully tomorrow at around the same time. We'll see how things go, and maybe a bonus stream on Monday, just because federal holiday and I get the day off. You're 10 years old? Okay. But alright, guys. Once again, I'm Steve signing out. Take care, guys. Bye.